Opie and Dopey.
Two guys that hate each other.
Just shut your mouth.
I hate them.
Shut up.
Don't be unkind.
Shut up, bitch.
Oh, very nice.
Shut the fuck up.
You're a fine bunch of bullies, aren't you?
Opie. I'm Opie.
I could give a fuck. I'm Jim Norton, and I'm on the radio.
Shut up.
The Opie and Anthony Show. It's all about fun, fun, fun.
I'd love to spit in your face.
I will fucking kill you.
Shut up, stupid.
I'm just a zilch and I know it.
Who cares? We're trying to do a fucking radio
I know what we're trying to do. I'm sitting here across from you. I understand that.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
Despicable asshats.
And these dummies that work for us, you guys stink.
Ben looks like a tall baby.
Always laughing in the wrong places.
Ben, where's the coffee?
You rock.
Hopefully he's going through a car wash with his mouth open.
And there's Steve.
Steve is a piece of garbage.
And you stink.
You are cordially invited to a robbery rape.
This is family entertainment.
This show is a disaster.
Opie and Anthony Show.
If you have any poo, fling it now.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Hoo-hoo, Robin. Hoo-hoo, Robin. Hoo-hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo-hoo, Robin. Robin. Hoo-hoo-hoo, Robin. Right, Robin? Tell him, Fred. Tell him, Fred. I invented everything. Put a bandana on your car. Sirius sucks ass.
Talk on and on about how you invented radio.
Tell him, Fred. Hoo-hoo-hoo.
Baba Booey, Howard Stern's penis. Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Booey. You lie!
You're a rich kid, toucher.
You lie! You're a fucking liar! Shut up!
For some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
There's always one. For some reason or another. There's always one that gets us going. Good morning.
Hi.
And welcome to the Opie and Anthony program. Spreading the virus across America thanks to XM Satellite Radio. The OA virus.
Fuck.
Jesus.
What are you
is
mowing down? What are you eating?
Enough with the mayonnaise.
That's not mayonnaise. It's cream cheese. Salted bagel.
It came...
I just saw white.
He was fighting with that. He looked like a shark. He looked like a shark. His eyes were rolled back white. And there was the cream cheese flying out of his mouth. He couldn't get the piece of bagel off. Just tearing at it.
You shouldn't have to wipe your hands like you're doing right now just from eating a bagel.
Especially when you're one bite in.
Oh, my goodness.
That's how they made it.
You're an animal. Jesus.
That's great.
Where were we? Nice shirt, Jimmy. Jesus Christ.
Aww.
This is the shirt my parents gave me for my birthday, which was July 19th. They gave me this. It's a red Scarface shirt. It could be the worst shirt ever given to anybody for any situation.
I don't know who would wear that shirt.
And you could not possibly wash that with any other clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Anything you watch, you could wash that with black pants, and somehow they would come out red.
It says, it's got like a weird painting picture of Pacino. And it just says, something, bury...
It says,
I bury those cockroaches.
I bury those cockroaches, and then Scarface, and that... You know, parents are very sweet, and I'm sure they're very caring and really thought they were getting you something you really would have liked and cool. But wow, that is an awful shirt.
Horrible. It's a horrible piece of clothing.
Did you open it with them there?
They might have mailed it to me.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Knowing
that
you,
would have been
they
embarrassing.
mailed it to you.
They would have been standing there smiling as you open it. Oh, he's going to love this. Then you got to take it out and go, ooh.
Yeah, because the clothing I get from them is usually a sweater from Van Heusen. Mom.
Van Heusen.
Van Heusen blows. Nobody wears Van Heusen sweaters.
like 1964.
It's awful.
Van Heusen.
Your mom listens to the show every
That's
day.
why she has to learn that Van Heusen. I'll never. There's a homeless guy right now enjoying my Christmas sweater.
Van Heusen.
Van Heusen.
I finally got my mom to the point where she just gives me gift certificates. Thank God.
Only way to do it.
Is that it?
Thank God.
My mother refuses to do the gift certificate thing, but she'll get me like pants and shirts and stuff. But then in that also is underwear in those boxes that we talk about with the guys on the front, pretty much nude with the big junk in the front of the underwear. Oh, my mommy giving me those.
No.
Take them out of the box at least.
Because you know she went shopping thinking, all right, my son's cock will look terrific in
Yeah,
these.
I know. Well, that's what you think. Don't be weighing that. Don't look at that and go, okay. I remember changing him as a baby, and he was packed pretty good.
Yeah, you make a good point, don't you now? All right. We got lots to do today. Where's our one sheet? Here it is.
Hearing sounds.
We actually got
in the office for today, and lots of fun things.
We got guests, too.
No, stop it.
Eddie Griffin may call in today.
Mm-hmm.
At least we're getting people that might call in now.
All right. He's in a Deuce Bigelow sequel?
Yeah.
Look. See? That's why. That's why. What if he's listening to the show going, all right, let me think this out. Let me see if this is the kind of show I want to be on.
That was the case. I'm sorry.
I think at this point he has no choice because the movie's getting horrendous reviews.
Oh, it is.
Absolutely horrendous reviews. We're going to make believe that the movie,
yes,
is getting killed by the critics.
Well, I heard it got some really good laughs.
0 stars in the one New York paper, and I think a half a star on the other paper.
I love the 0-star reviews.
By the way, if you were listening, this one sheet would say Eddie Griffin will not be calling in if he was listening to this program.
Well, we'll see if he calls in. He might want to hide, actually. Not from us, I'm just saying in general, because why did they even make another Deuce Bigelow movie?
Why do you make one?
Well, the first one, I didn't like it. There was a couple scenes that were you kind of went,
I never saw the Deuce Bigelow movie.
But there was no reason to make a sequel.
No.
And then to just, redo the original like they do. So I don't know. He's in the Deuce Bigelow movie, and he might call in today.
Yeah, I heard the review on Wins. It's driving in on 1010 Wins, and not favorable.
No.
Ooh, brutal.
Rob Schneider provides new meaning to the term ugly American with Deuce Bigelow, European gigolo, vile and laughless follow-up to his 1999 hit, which hardly called out for a sequel.
Hardly.
It's essentially a replay of the first film with Schneider's dim-witted, now balding man-whore peddling his wares in Amsterdam, which never looked worse than in this cheesy-looking comedy. Forced to leave California, after accidentally provoking a school of dolphins into a murderous rage. Deuce arrives in Europe toting the artificial leg of his late wife who died in a shark attack on their honeymoon. Wow. And it goes on and on.
He stinks, and I don't like him.
Well, we'll see what happens. So hopefully Eddie Griffin will call in. We'll talk about some stuff with him. Howie Mandel in studio today. Come on!
No way.
Is that real?
Really?
I'm sure it'd come.
Hopefully.
I have my Howie photo that I have to have one of the interns blow up so I can ask him to sign it.
Oh, very good.
We did Tough Crowd together.
Tough Crowd?
Yeah, didn't you freak him out, though?
Yeah, I think they told him I had AIDS. But he knows I don't know. So Ben left me a message. And Ben's like, try that one again. Yeah, that'll work twice. They just sat us on the couch together, and someone had the virus.
Yeah.
It was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, we've got to ask him about that whole thing.
Why, you want to ask him what methods he's been using so you can use a few for yourself? You guys will get along fantastically.
I'm going to out-creep him.
Rotten Tomatoes, my favorite movie review site, gave the Deuce Bigelow movie a 4% rating.
Ooh,
you got to be 50% or better to get a positive review on RottenTomatoes.com.
4%.
4%. There's a mood and a market for really low and dumb humor, but Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo, doesn't even seem to be aiming that high.
Oh, wow.
One of those sequels that seem to have been made less out of inspiration than because the right production deal came along. What? Then it goes on and on. Just awful. All right. Oh, confirmed. Eddie Griffin calling in at 10 a.m. I can't wait to see Deuce Bigelow. I can't wait. I think that's going to be a good movie. I think there's going to be a lot of laughs in it.
European Gigolo. It looks hysterical from the commercials.
That's right.
You know, he walks to the door and that big woman's there. We didn't see that in the first one, did we? Oh, that's right. We did.
Well, he's a comedian, right?
Who?
Eddie Griffin?
Oh, yeah, he's a stand-up.
Yeah. So, you know, he can understand and have some fun with this, right?
You always know. I mean, how am I know? Let's be talking about films like I've done a few, but you can usually tell.
Blockbuster, Superman, Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I kind of knew all along that was good. Toby and I talked a lot.
Yeah.
He'd call me.
All right, so I'm just very distracted by your Al Pacino.
You should be. It's awful.
T-shirt.
It's like sitting across the fucking table from a nuclear explosion. Just red and horrible.
Gotta put those big goggles on just to look at Jimmy.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's so bright, my eyes are getting all freaked out already.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Mom, the shirt is terrible.
Where did she get that?
I don't know.
Mom, the boys hate Jimmy's shirt.
They hate it. The boys, don't make a fucking maniac out of me. Jesus.
Jimmy gets a Van Heusen.
This is patently offensive. It's so bright.
Don't you buy those at like little shops and stands somewhere? Or
Spencer's or something.
Like, where did she get that?
I don't know.
She's shopping for you at Spencer's like you're 16.
I'm sure it was between this and the farting little statue.
Oh, the black light.
We don't want one of those in the house.
Stay-glow poster. No.
More bad reviews coming in for Deuce Bigelow?
No. At 4%?
Oh, these are the ones that were positive? Yeah. They found... These are all the positive reviews. They take movie reviews from all over the country. Sometimes it's over 100. In this case, Deuce Bigelow has 3 good reviews. Call me immoral, call me insensitive, call me lewd, but I laughed. From the Balcony, that's the name of the publication. From the Balcony, Bill Clark. Deuce 2 is dumb, crude, juvenile, and gross, but it is also one of the funniest films I've seen in ages. As long as you do not get offended easily, you may have a good time. That's by Skewed and Reviewed. Have you ever heard of that publication or
Never.
website? Definitely not art, but it's quite funny for a sequel. Real Talk Movie Reviews.
All right.
So there you go. Positive reviews. Actually, let's save these so we
now it sounds great.
We can read these to Eddie Griffin. We'll
right.
save these.
Don't read that other sheet to him. Lose him as a guest.
All right. Speaking of movies, I had another situation yesterday.
A situation.
Another situation. Actually, Anthony was on the case with me on this one. I had to call him immediately.
I had to do some research.
And I had to get him on IMDb to see what the hell was going on. The story goes like this. It's a big week for me and my chick. First, it was the paparazzi Daily News photo fiasco, where she didn't want her picture taken and she ran away, and then they took a picture of her, and I'm sure you heard us talking about that earlier in the week, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was in the bank yesterday doing some banking.
And I had my tongue up this chick's ass. Shut up, stupid.
Shut up. So I'm doing some banking, and it's taking a little time. So I'm up near the tellers, and Lindsay's in like the lobby area near the ATM machines, just sitting on the windowsill, minding her own business. And this big fat old slob of a guy walks up to her. I find out this after the fact, by the way. Walks up to her. And has a little conversation with her, and gives him his phone number.
Oh.
Turns out he's like 61, 62 years old. So I get back, and she's got this look on her face. I'm like, what? What happened? And she goes, this old gentleman that kind of looks like an older version of Michael Moore approached me and said he was a Hollywood director.
Ah, the Hollywood director.
Says he was a Hollywood director.
Uh-huh.
And Lindsay's like, I'm just sitting there minding my own business, and I notice this guy's staring at me, and he's really, really creeping me out. So the guy comes up to her, and they start talking. And the guy, his opening line was, "You mesmerize me."
You mesmerize me.
You mesmerize me. I was staring from across the way here, and you've been mesmerizing me the whole time I've been in the bank. I'm a Hollywood director. So she's a smart woman. Jimmy knows that. And she goes, "Is that what you say to pick up chicks?"
Of course.
And he's like, "No, I'm not a pervert. I'm telling you, there's something about you that is mesmerizing me. I'm a writer and a director.
Uh-huh.
And I want you to see, a couple of my films. And if you're interested, I would like to write a part for you." "Well, are you working on a movie now?" No, but I would like to write a part for you." I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? I can't even walk to the bank.
Did he ask her to email him at yellowtreats@AOL.com?
Exactly.
What
a
this guy.
Jimmy Norton move that is.
Fat old man.
You intrigue me. That was the other thing he said. You intrigue me and you mesmerize me.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, great, what's his name? So I get right on the cell phone and I go, Aunt, look up this guy on IMDb. What's his name?
James Toback.
James Toback was hitting on my chick yesterday at the bank. And,
James Toback.
And the entire country needs to know it.
And, well, apparently he has written, produced,
he's a real guy.
Directed a couple of movies, but nothing really of note recently.
His biggest film was Bugsy.
Bugsy,
which
if
is
you
pretty
look at
big.
that. He's got the writing credit on Bugsy, which starred Warren Beatty, Annette Bening, Harvey Keitel, Ben Kingsley, Elliot Gould, Joe Montana.
He does a lot of movies with, like, Robert Downey Jr., who else? Harvey Keitel's been in a few of his films.
Yeah.
So he's the real deal. But I don't think what he was telling her is the real deal, So
no.
So we go home and we go to IMDb and I'm like, is that the guy? And she goes, yeah. So it's definitely him, giving her all the moves.
Yeah.
He directed a movie called Black and White, which I remember seeing, matter of fact, because it starts out with one of the sickest scenes I've seen in recent years in regular movies, where this white chick is getting just slammed. Just getting slammed by a black guy in the middle of Central Park in the woods. I remember that's like the opening scene, where it's pretty much just this white girl bent completely over, holding onto a tree, and the black guy's just railing her.
Yeah.
So I did a little more research on a lot of these movies. Read off some of the titles, Anthony.
All right. We have When Will I Be Loved? Harvard Man.
When Will I Be Loved is the latest one, right?
Yeah.
That's the one he wants her to see.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what is that movie about?
I bet it's about a younger woman who falls for an older man, something like that.
Nev Campbell is in it.
Right, Nev Campbell was in this movie, 2004. I did all my research yesterday.
Nev Campbell
gets topless in this movie.
Yeah, she's, it's like her first topless scene.
Right. Has anyone seen a pattern here yet?
And
Nev Campbell, I guess, got naked in this movie because her career was kind of, waning, and so she really had no choice. So she gets this project, but this guy says, "Hey, I want you, topless in this movie." So it was her first topless role.
So far, all you're doing is making me like this guy. Fat old creep at the bank. Gotta respect that.
He's also put Sarah Michelle Gellar in a movie.
Right.
I guess that was Harvard Man.
Well,
he directed and wrote Harvard Man.
He mentioned Heather Graham.
Heather Graham in a movie.
And who's the other one?
Bijou Phillips.
Heather Graham.
I think we're seeing a pattern here.
Blonde and blue-eyed.
I'm going to say the odds are it's bullshit, but...
Of course it is.
You never know, man.
Did he ask if she's an actress?
No, of course
Done
not.
any acting?
No, of course
Has
not.
an agent?
No.
Has headshots?
No.
Could be an oversight.
The guy is, well, Jimmy is on the radio, but he uses that power to get girls.
But I don't...
This guy is in the movies, but
Yeah,
but he's not even working on a movie.
Right, there's nothing really going on
And
there.
read some of the synopses of some of these movies. And look at the ratings of a lot of these movies.
Let's see.
Half these movies he's done are NC-17.
2 girls and a guy. 2 girls, Carla and Lou, meet on the street outside a loft waiting for their boyfriends. In short time, they find out they're waiting for the same guy. Young actor Blake, who says that he loves only her to both of them, but was actually leading a double life. I guess there's sex in that one. That's the one with Heather Graham in it.
Right.
And then Love in Paris. What's that one? A group of boys from preppy private school from Louisiana visiting Paris for spring break. Get separated from the group. Along the way, they find a group of girls who have also been separated from the group. Not only do they find them, but they also find love. And by love, it's on-screen fucking.
Right. Exactly. So I go, Lindsay, you got to call the guy because the curiosity was getting both of us in a way. So she has a little conversation with the guy, and all he's saying is, "You mesmerized me. You really intrigue me. Are you living in New York? Are you going to school, or what's your deal?" And then he said something like, "Have you had an exciting life up to this point?"
Oh, because now it's going to kick into high gear.
And then he's like, "Are you open-minded? Do you have an open mind?" And she's like, she's really not answering the questions. And he goes, "Well, see this film, the latest one from 2004, and you'll understand what my films are about and what I try to do."
How about this one? A billionaire businessman hires a man to influence a South American dictator. He winds up having an affair with the billionaire's wife.
Right.
What's this one? A billionaire radio host meets a man in a bank.
He works, he works with real actors and actresses, but there's also other people in these films that, he wants to just kind of exploit.
Well, did you
it's
think
my opinion here.
How about, why don't we have Ben call him and have an on-air chat? Because if he is legitimate about that, he would come on and go, "Yeah, she's mesmerized me. Oh, she's your girlfriend? She's great, dude. I would love to put her." You know what I mean? If he's legitimate, it's possible he really does feel that way, and he wants to, because that stuff happens. It's just rare.
Guy's worked with Keitel a few times.
Yeah, the majority of that stuff is crap, but you never know. Some of these directors are kind of flakes, and they work that way. They just see something, and they go, "All right," and they just have a vibe about somebody. So I wouldn't write it off completely, but it's probably crap.
Well, Eric is really helping me this morning by going to Mr. Skin and getting scenes from all his movies.
Yeah.
And every scene I've seen so far is some young girl getting laid.
Getting banged.
That's great, Eric. Thank you. Thank you for that scene on the log. Here's the scene I was telling you about, I think, in Central Park. There's some kind of threesome going on next to a tree. That's not the scene I saw. If it's the same movie, I'm thinking black and white.
Bijou?
So I had to deal with that yesterday. So I'm like, oh, great. Fantastic. Are you open-minded?
Yeah.
He kept saying that a lot. Are you open?
Open-minded.
Open-minded.
That means I have an idea to have you naked.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me happy at all. Yeah, see, here's the scene. The two chicks are, making out. Here's an example of being open-minded.
Yeah, here it is. Here's his version of open-minded.
Yeah, here's his vision for my chick, probably.
Black guys banging white chicks.
Yeah, great. The two girls are having a huge lesbian scene in the middle of the woods, and then there's 2 black guys there. That's great. There it is, a threesome, a black guy with 2 white chicks.
That's open-minded.
That's his vision of being open-minded.
Pretty fucking open-minded.
Oh, wow.
What?
It's a picture of Angelina Jolie going into Lee's art shop, which is right down the street here.
Oh, really?
Street, yeah, that kid.
Yeah, that's right where we used to work.
Summary of When Will I Be Loved? Right off of Internet Movie Database.
And this is the one he wants her to see, right?
Yeah. She picks up men on the street and has sex with them in her apartment.
That's the one he wanted her to see?
Yeah.
The guy's a creep.
Well, I say we get him on the horn.
The guy's a creep. He really is a creep. I think he's using, his power, that he's a Hollywood director and he's worked with a lot of, real actors and actresses. And then I think this is what he does to try to pick up, young girls.
And this guy,
young
Chris,
innocent girls.
Chris, I've seen the one with Robert Downey Jr. and a young Heather Graham. Very explicit sex scene. She actually reaches down and grabs his junk, and you see Downey completely sporting wood on screen. How about that? Open-minded.
A lot of his movies are NC-17 with explicit sexual scenes.
Yep.
Every summary has that in just about every movie. I mean, Bugsy was a legitimate film, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
All these other ones are kind of artsy and stuff. And then he also did The Pickup Artist. You might remember that one from like 1987. I mean, that goes way back. Molly Ringwald and a few others were in that movie.
Everyone's asking me to say what his 1978 thriller was. It's Fingers.
Great. I am so...
And then somebody says he has a writing credit for Fingers.
And she says she's there with her boyfriend, and I'm doing some banking, and the guy was still just going hard,
Yeah.
I wish I came upon this. I'm so pissed off that he was gone by the time I got back to the lobby.
That's his MO.
Here's the thing though. You have you have his number.
Oh yeah, I do.
So why don't you have Ben call him and just see legitimately?
Honestly, I don't have it today. I could probably get it.
Yeah, call him when we're going to
Maybe later on in the show we'll try to get him on the phone.
He might be real. I mean, who knows?
He's a real director, but I don't think his intentions are real.
You're probably right, but I say you give it a shot. You never know. Maybe he's looking for some other actors.
Jimmy's just going to try to work it. Hi, I'm open-minded. I show my ass to...
My life hasn't been very exciting, sir, but I'm very willing to be excited.
I think I could intrigue you, sir.
Yes.
I could be mesmerizing and a little teddy for you. Creep! I say he's a creep.
Older gentleman.
So...
Yeah, I would say... this guy seems...
Here we go.
shady.
Brad in Chicago. Brad, what's up?
Yo, guys, I can't remember the exact magazine that I read.
This is another scene. Hold on. This is another scene from one of his movies?
Wow.
Holy shit.
There you go. That's open-minded.
There's his open-mindedness.
Wow.
What movie was that from?
That looked like, what was that?
Killing...
Heather Graham?
That might not be one of his movies, hopefully.
Sure it is.
Anyway, go ahead, Brad in Chicago.
Yeah, this guy Toback, from what I recall from a magazine article that I can't exactly remember where is a legendary pervert and lech and pickup artist, and basically he has tried to make his movie career based on his perverse lifestyle.
All right.
I would not trust him as far as I could spit.
Okay, hold on, sir. Let me read this. It's in Salon.com, Arts and Entertainment. The original pickup artist. At 57, James Toback is clean, sober, and married. But the legendary Hollywood womanizer and gambler still bets his life on every new movie and talks to strangers in Central Park.
Exactly.
As we walk through Central Park, James Toback tells me a true story that sounds more like a scene from a movie. It's about a pedophile accused of sleeping with boys, on the run from police, and $10,000 in debt from a bookie, who has just shown up at Toback's hotel room door begging for the money. You guys got like a million of these horrible stories. True life, not just movies.
Exactly.
Okay. Come over here, he says. I want to show you something. This is an example of how I get a bad reputation. With his hands on my shoulders, he focuses me on a woman with long blonde hair who is reading cross-legged on a blanket in the middle of the great lawn. This is what I do, he whispers as he heads toward her. I see this girl, and she looks like she may be interesting. And as I get closer and closer, I see if she still holds my attention. I see if there's a gravitational pull, because if there isn't, what's the fucking point? But he walks past her. He pans his arm from left to right across the skyline of trees that surround Central Park. The shot could be an establishing scene.
Man.
He does this all the time, dude.
All the time.
That's actually better that you're reading that he does that, though, as opposed to having never done it before. So maybe it's something he really does to get people for films.
But he walks over to her, says, excuse me, I wonder, have you ever done or would be interested in doing anything cinematic? And if you are, would you be interested in discussing it? Squinting her eyes in confusion and blushing, she asks what he means. My name's James Toback. He smiles and shakes her hand. I'm a movie director.
By the way,
have you seen Black and White?
This is exactly how it went down the bank. Exactly. Yesterday. Go ahead.
Yeah. Talk about a pattern, definitely.
Are you a student? He asks. This is his M.O., Jim. Does this all the time.
What do he do with her? Like this girl?
I'm screening as I'm reading. The girl has forgotten that Toback is a stranger. He interrupts her giggling and goings-on. Talks about voting for Clinton. Check out my work, he said.
That's exactly
what he said.
If
you see anything you think you connect with and might want to be a part of without promising anything, call me. The one-of-a-kind opportunity smile forms on her face. She hands him her flyer, and he writes his number on it, and she thanks him. We turn away, and he says, I do that 15 times a week. Well, okay, maybe 50 times a week. 40 girls and 10 guys.
The guy's getting pussy out of this.
I'm sure he is, but I also think that he might at times. You never know. I'm saying I wouldn't completely write it off because he is a legitimate director, and he's admitting, yeah, this is something I do. It's not like he's sneaking around going, oh, I don't do that.
He's taking advantage of what he does.
Probably. I'd like to know if he's met anybody and put them in a film like that.
All right. Thank you, Brad.
All right. I'm out. Take care.
Yeah, I read that, too, last night, that he's a legendary womanizer, Anthony. Legendary womanizer. Oy.
Toback never concealed his behavior. He flaunted it. He even wrote a book, Jim, an admittedly self-centered biography of football legend Jim Brown that chronicles Toback's experience as a Jewish white guy who lived with Brown in Hollywood, a life that is essentially a series of wild parties and orgies. Jim is making his rounds. Jane Fonda is there, and Sharon Tate. I drift into an old friend, a delicate girl of angled Nordic beauty, and embark with her on an orgy. Jim joins.
This guy loves blondes.
Yeah, it seems like
blue
that.
Eyes.
He likes watching Jim Brown bang him.
Yuck.
Well, we'll see if Mr. Toback will come on the show today.
Maybe he will.
But like you guys asked, didn't ask if she had an agent, if she's ever been an actress, wanted to be an actress.
50 times a week.
Hey, dude, you're lucky it was this guy, and not Brad Pitt. Or somebody like that, because she would have went, nah, it's just this guy, I blew him off. Hey, Lindsay, why are you going to California? Nah, I just need some sun.
See Opie just dragging her over by the hair to show her his balance on the ATM.
You know, I haven't eaten dessert in years, but I started eating dessert last night, and I'll be eating dessert every night for the next 2 years straight.
Why's that?
I just like dessert all of a sudden. Lots and lots of ice cream for everybody.
Oh, is that what you're going to do?
Lots and lots of chocolate mousse.
Not just you?
Not just me. I love dessert.
He's going to be one of those guys
I love
that make
rich
his chick
desserts. Lots and lots of whipped cream for everybody. And I haven't touched cake in years, but man.
Eat!
I think I like dessert again.
Let's see.
Back in the basement.
I want to be in motion pictures.
Yeah, I just saw right through this guy.
Maybe
right
the man
him.
will like me, too.
He said 10 guys.
I better get ready to do some acting. I better do some phone acting.
So
I'm very good.
That was my little afternoon yesterday, dealing with that.
Hey, how's this? This is pretty good for a scene. Sam, we gotta catch the murderer! That would be like something from Quincy.
Wonderful. Chad from Brooklyn, what's up?
What's up, Opie?
Hey.
It seems a little contradictory because, like, the other day you were pissed off that a bunch of message board nobodies said your girlfriend was ugly, and now you're pissed off that a Hollywood director.
No, first of all, it was just a handful of idiots that have no clue what they're talking about.
Obviously.
95% of the people that would see Lindsay would say she's hot. I mean, that's the reality of it, you know. I was just pissed off that, people were trying to see something in a picture that just wasn't there.
It's just a funny inconsistency he pointed out because then he goes, yeah, but then a Hollywood director says she's beautiful and you get angry. He's basically, this gentleman is saying there's no winning.
Yeah, well, I guess you're right in a way, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, don't let them get to you.
All right, thank you, sir.
No problem.
You never know, Eric. Maybe this man will be making a movie about a boy who just shoves mayonnaise into his mouth, and he'll happen upon you and say that you captivate him.
That's something else I love.
You disgust me.
I love mayonnaise. Mayonnaise on everything from now on. Lots and lots of mayonnaise.
But it's ice cream. Man, mayo on it.
Here you go. A nice ham sandwich with a lot of mayonnaise. A nice dollop of mayo for everybody.
Dollop.
Buffalo chicken wings for lunch and dinner. With lots and lots of blue cheese.
Lots of it.
In an interview from Interview Magazine, Toback claims he took the most hits of LSD ever recorded.
That's great. He's just a winner. An absolute winner in Hollywood.
He knows Keitel.
Huh?
He knows Keitel. Maybe he can introduce us.
Who the fuck cares?
I like Harvey. As opposed to good. That's good, right?
Let's say hi to Andy in New Jersey. Andy, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? Listen, I think what this guy Toback wanted to do, Opie, was bend your girl over and say, "Come on."
Come on.
Very helpful, sir.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem, guys. Hey, listen.
I mean, it's obvious, you know. It's very obvious. He gets real actresses and actors. I mean, what does he want her for? Come on.
Probably right. Again, I say that you're probably right. I would say if he comes on the phone, though, maybe he's genuine.
So...
I think he's just,
a creep.
I think he likes blondes.
Blondes.
That's what I think.
Blondes with blue eyes.
Yeah. And I think he likes meeting them and seeing what goes on. And that's his way of doing it.
It's a great rap.
Maybe doing some test shots.
Oh, boy.
Maybe some test scenes.
All right, why don't you pull the shoulder or the top down just a little bit? That's great. That's great.
Take your thumb, put it in your mouth like a little girl. What, you don't know topless? Yeah, man. Coco.
Stupid Coco.
Oh, candy corn tits.
Oh, those awful tits she had.
They look like rotted photo negatives of candy corns.
Ah, God. It was just really, really, really annoying.
Yeah.
Lucky it wasn't Spielberg.
Huh?
Remember it was Spielberg being a creep like that?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, you ever think of doing movies? Yes. What are you doing here? Nothing.
Because that's a sure thing right there.
I didn't think that was going on anymore. I mean, back in the day, like a lot of these Hollywood stars, you know, that's how they were discovered. They're in the old soda shop.
Cary Grant was discovered as a soda jerk.
Right. They're sipping on a...
Clark Gable worked at Woolworths.
Right, exactly. And the director discovers them. That doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore.
Here's Gregory Peck, who is an usher in a movie theater. Yeah. In the bank. That's how it works.
Eric Nagel was eating lard with his bare hands.
He pops the Coco scene up on the computer. Ugh.
So I'm going to be keeping an eye on Mr. Toback.
Yeah.
Mr. Toback, the creep, in my honest opinion.
I understand that Ben was approached.
He's not even working on a movie.
Well, he could be thinking about one.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Ben was approached?
Well, yeah, he was kind of embarrassed. A guy walked up, he worked for CGI, and he wanted to know if he could use Ben's cock as a sea serpent in a film that he's writing. The creature from the deep blue jeans. That's the sound the creature makes before it strikes.
Digger Dog saying this guy sounds like a real creep. He'd be perfect for the show.
Yeah, obviously. We'll have to talk to him later.
Yeah.
We'll see if he's willing to talk. If it's legit, obviously he would talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God. That just annoyed the piss out of me yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's say hi to Chris. Chris, what's going on?
Hey, Hope, I was wondering, you know, if your chick did a movie with this guy, wouldn't it be kiddie porn?
Jim on Long Island. What's up, Jim?
Yeah, Hope, I just want to tell you, you sound like a whiny little bitch. If this was anybody else's chick, you'd be giving the guy props for the good moves he has there.
No, I wouldn't. If you know my role on the show, I certainly would not, you asshole.
Wait.
My girlfriend.
This guy's saying you'd be giving the guy props for his moves, and that's true. But dude, when it's your chick, you don't give the guy props that's trying to move in on her.
Yeah,
you give the props to the guy going after the chick that you have no clue who it is. That's
and I
just
haven't
human
been the guy
nature.
on the show that gives props to people that do that, you ass. Listen a little closer. You know, if your chick is being hit on by some Hollywood director that has no intention of doing anything, legit or classy with your chick, I think you'd be pissed off.
I don't think.
And if you did a little research and you see that, every single one of his movies has explicit sexual scenes, you could do the math, and it wouldn't make you happy. So if you want to call me a whiny bitch, that's fine. But you're insane.
Okay. All right.
Insane indeed.
Maybe this is a real opportunity for her. Let's go to Len. Len, go ahead.
Hey, Opie, I can understand how upset you are about the whole thing, and I would be too. But, what about Lindsay? If this is a real opportunity, this could be something golden for her. You could always go with her to, any appointment that she had or something like that. She's obviously beautiful, and she obviously competes with any actress out there as far as looks go. And, who knows? You could always go with her.
If it was like, another type of director, then sure. But it's obvious what's going on here. We just gave you all the info. He does work with legitimate actors and actresses. They have the acting chops. He didn't even ask her if she's ever acted. So obviously he's just into her beauty and exploiting that in some way, in some scene, in a possible movie somewhere down the road. That's what pisses me off.
At least he's worked with good-looking people. The last girl I was dating, the guy walked up and asked her if she'd ever done movies. We looked him up. He had directed Mask. No?
That's kind of good. every single, not every, but most of his movies are NC-17 with, explicit sexual, material or scenes or whatever they call it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, what if? If you're there, obviously nothing's going to happen if you're there. It might be worth the opportunity or maybe even good for a laugh if the guy is a real asshole.
Right. Well, she is trying to figure out her next move, but,
Cool.
But
well, good luck.
I guess we'll have to wait for other offers from other Hollywood directors. Jesus.
There you go.
Maybe she could be the spokesgirl for North Shore Animal League.
Ah, crap. All right, enough of that. Enough. Do you see my point, Anthony? Am I being whiny?
No, I see the point. I absolutely see the point.
I think every guy out there would be pissed off under the exact same circumstances.
It's flattering. I don't know so much about pissed off because the guy's a guy.
I just think
I know
what
the guy does.
I think I know his intentions,
Yeah.
Of course he makes movies, of course, but he also uses that power to titillate himself.
Of course.
What?
Titillate.
I wouldn't be mad if the guy was respectful. If a guy's a scumbag right in front of you, but if a guy sees a hot girl and just talks to her, that's not awful. He gave her his number. It's not like he harassed her.
I don't think I'm far-fetched on this one. I think a lot of the guys listening out there would be annoyed by this.
As long as the guy's respectful, it's not bad.
Remember years ago when you were at a restaurant with your girlfriend at the time, and you got up to go to the bathroom, and some guy at another table got up and gave her his phone number, started talking to her. What a scum! Now that's a scumbag. Waits for Opie to get up and go to the bathroom, gives her the phone number, and then leaves before Opie gets to come back out.
Anthony had a classic line yesterday because I was annoyed, so I called Anthony, which I go right to Ant, and he goes, "Dude, you just have to start, going out with ugly girls.
You just get
you
some
have
ugly
to
chick.
Just start going out with ugly girls."
There's two solutions: get an ugly chick. Don't leave the house. That's it. Lock the doors.
Or get a vat of acid.
Yeah. Throw some acid at her.
That's why she'll always look surprised. So
that no eyelid thing.
Eye skin burns off. And you can just comfort her, put your arm around her shoulder, put burn salve on her. It's all right.
So it's just been a very strange week.
What's a new... Oh, okay.
There's what?
A new person I haven't seen in here.
All right, we should take a break.
Wait, did someone... Did you attempt to bring in this outside party into this situation?
Jimmy, so what's your take on this whole thing?
Again, I think you're probably right. I really do. I mean, I'm a guy, especially the guy who has a history of doing that. But because he has a history of doing that, in a way, says, well, you could be wrong too. It's a possibility that as much he could be a pervert, but he could also have
He's gonna just throw her in a movie.
Probably not, but it's not unheard of.
That doesn't involve a nude scene, or doesn't involve some kind of lesbian scene.
Maybe that's why he asked if she was open-minded.
Yeah, that's exactly what he kept saying. Are you open? Are you an open person? Are you open to possibilities?
Yeah. Well, he's a creep.
Open equals lesbianism.
Yeah.
All right, we should take a break, get into some show.
I just got to say one thing I read here. The education panel is probing the lessons of slavery. I just think it's an interesting article.
Oh. You want to do that next?
Yeah.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Sandy Kane.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Joining Sandy Kane, Mr. James Brown! I don't play it. Eat it, monkey. Wow! Eat it, monkey. Drink a six-pack, turn off the lights, and smoke some crack. I'm beautiful.
You're a filthy whore! Opie and Anthony, XM202.
All right, you're checking out the Opie and Anthony program on XM Satellite Radio. So I guess the priest quit, huh, Anthony? That's been a big story the last few days here in New York City. I guess it's made national news. It had to, right?
Yeah, they love it.
The Beauty and the Priest. The story goes, the priest and his secretary go out to the Hamptons, and they were tired and didn't want to drive back to the city, so they went to a hourly motel for, 4 or 5 hours.
Yep.
And
came out with their clothes changed. And, the husband of this woman, they're going through a divorce. So he sent a private dick after him with a camera and videotaped him going into this hotel. And I guess there'd been some hanky-panky going on, some allegations made from the woman's daughter who saw some things going on in hot tubs and this woman sitting on his lap with his shirt off, her and a teddy or something. So, nobody's believing his story that this is just a fatherly type of relationship he has with her. But, yeah, St. Pat's...
okay, we are talking about St. I thought we were still talking about James Toback.
Oh, no.
Jesus Christ. Can we get off that?
The priest came up. Would you like to be my secretary?
Right, exactly.
You intrigue me.
Have you ever typed?
Well, rumor has it. I heard this.
Mm-hmm.
It's the higher-ups there at St. Pat's. Not like the ultimate higher-up.
Oh.
Yeah, no, the guys, the human ones. They said, you're supposed to fire the secretary. They went to him and said, fire your secretary. And he said no. and retired instead, or resigned instead.
That's the advice these assholes gave him?
Tuck it away. Sweep it into the closet. Make it go away.
Fire her?
Yeah. Fire her.
He's
was there
a Monsignor banging a subordinate.
Yeah.
Fire her.
Fire her.
You gotta love their ignorance.
And he would have fired her if he didn't think he could still get some ass.
Yeah.
You gotta think.
You know,
the guy's not gonna throw his whole career away.
He's protecting the ass.
Dude, he's 80.
Right.
Yeah.
There's not much career left.
This is the best it's going to get for him, and he's thinking, all right, well, I could continue this relationship. Who cares about the God thing? I got a nice piece of ass over here.
At 80, it's probably going to take him a while to get another chick.
Right.
You know, this one he's got.
A lot of people are probably looking at him like he's doing the right thing, but no, he's just thinking about,
Apulha. Yeah, so there you go. Anytime I see scandal at St. Pat's, though, it kind of gets me shaken up a little bit. See it in the headlines. I'm surprised they haven't mentioned this.
Yeah, usually they tie it into what we did.
Scandal, sex scandal.
Right. Which, by the way, our Sex for Sam thing, this coming Monday.
Yeah.
The 3rd anniversary.
Oh, I thought we were doing it again.
Yeah,
scared the shit out of me. Sex for Sam this coming Monday.
So he stepped down. It'll be interesting to see if the relationship continues.
Ooh.
Yes, there, Jimmy.
God damn, this Pamela Rogers is hot. This blonde teacher who banged the 13-year-old.
Yeah, she
got smoking, man.
She got sentenced, right?
Yeah, 9 months.
Is she the Christina Applegate lookalike?
Yeah.
Yeah, she got 9 months.
Wow.
This article's bullshit, by the way. I apologize before.
What? Oh, yeah, you teased some article going into break.
My error. Education panel to probe the lessons of slavery. But it's all things about, like, don't schools already teach lessons on slavery?
Yes, they do.
Should they talk about slavery? I thought it was tips on breeding.
Oh, my God.
What is wrong with you?
I'm not.
What's wrong with me? I don't know.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Awful.
Well, it's an education panel to probe lessons of slavery.
You're gonna say stuff like that, and then you're gonna skip off to Hollywood, and we're gonna be left here to clean up the mess.
Mister.
The mess you left.
What mess?
You can't just say stuff like that.
You certainly can. When there's no one in the room that might object.
Oy.
I know what I mean.
This is some uppity group that doesn't think that the teachings of slavery are being done properly in the schools. They want to teach a little more than just slavery and want to show how slaves played a huge role in creating modern America. And what they want to do is appoint a council to teach. And it doesn't matter. The officials are not to be chosen based on their academic background.
No, why would you?
But with due regard to broad geographic representation and ethnic diversity. So they'd rather, instead of having competent teachers in there teaching this, they'd rather have people of color that can pass along their own agenda.
Diversity. Diversity is so fucking overrated.
Ethnic diversity.
Ugh.
Criminal. That's what I say.
People of ethnic diversity. Just say what you mean.
Right. You don't mean ethnic diversity. That means what? Some Italian guy's going to come in?
Yeah.
Teach slavery?
But if he didn't do the shit he was supposed to do, he'd get fucking hit. You got to do it. Get the hay, you fucking whack.
Exactly.
Hey, we're going to talk a little about slavery today, children. Don't you know?
They don't mean ethnically diverse.
They were forced to do things, and while my people were not at all involved in the trade. Farrakhan's always trying to tie that together.
Of course.
The Jews did it. Of course they did.
Yeah. I think they had their own difficulties going on.
Yeah, plenty of Jews here in, 1410, whenever that happened. What the fuck's he talking about?
All right. Have you guys ever heard Boo Got Shot?
No.
The audio Boo Got Shot?
No.
Well, we got to lead up to Boo Got Shot. You got to play the first clip, Anthony, from that lady, if you still have it.
Lady?
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember this clip we played?
I seen the cops knocking the truck window out, and I thought they was giving the man UPS. I thought the man was dead. That's the way it was.
Yeah, you got to give people the UPS.
Of course, you got to give the people
the UPS.
that I heard, yeah.
God, the UPS.
All right, but you've never heard Boo Got Shot?
Oh, I thought that's what you meant.
Ah, man, I love when black people talk about crime.
When they are on the news.
See, we all had a pause. We're in the middle of a nice thought,
Little nugget came
We're
out.
about to rock and roll
Quick,
with this program.
You're bringing it through the cloud.
You can keep going.
You don't bring my apple thing through Jimmy's fart cloud.
Just enjoy it. Have a piece of that apple fritter.
Now it's a rotten apple.
Oh, cut it out.
Oh, boy. All right. So, no, I just love when black people talk about being eyewitnesses to crime.
Yes.
It just...
usually involves a mirror.
It's just amazing.
Oh, Jesus.
What is wrong with you?
It was a good one.
Not at all.
When are you heading off to L.A.?
That's a good one.
No, not till September.
Oh, God. Every one of your farts stink. I've never had... There has never been one. Not a one where you don't go, oh, that's a surprise. It didn't smell up the studio.
Did a little racial humor today.
Yeah, it's all cute. Cute and nice.
Please.
It's very enjoyable.
Yes, of course it is.
All right, so Boo got shot. Yeah, I love this personally when black folk are eyewitnesses to crimes and they have to go on the news and try to describe what they saw.
Well, the news loves exploiting this
Hence
also.
the clip you just played,
Right.
and I would love if you would play it again, Anthony.
I seen the cops knocking the truck window out, and I thought they was giving the man UPS. I thought the man was dead. That's the way it was.
You just got to be rolling the camera on her going, oh, it's gold.
So here's another example. Boo got shot.
She was taking real bad. And then she said, Peaches, they got shot. I said, who? She said, Boo got shot. I said, oh, my God, we just saw it. My sister had called somebody up here. She called my cousin Pumpkin just stay up there. She called her, and Pumpkin told her that she was on the phone with police. And Chichi, she had left out, and she went and got in her car, and she bailed out. And when she left out, when I heard the gunshot again, and when I heard the gunshot, and I seen some boy had running the building over back that way. He ran in that building, and I seen that car just flew off, and then I seen a long gun, a big old gun in the car.
Okay, terrific.
What?
Hello, exactly.
That's Boo got shot.
Wow.
Boo got shot.
What the hell? I think Pumpkin was involved. Did I hear her talking about Pumpkin?
I thought I heard Patches in there.
Patches?
I don't know.
And Pumpkin was involved, and then the car took off, and
I heard Pant.
Boo got shot.
I heard Pant.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
I actually understood almost all that. I really did.
Really?
Yeah. It's hard. It's just, just the story about some guy getting shot.
Well, we got the translation for everybody. Boo got shot, the translation.
She was taking real bad.
It appears the young lady was trembling from nervousness.
She said, Peaches, they got shot.
Someone has been wounded.
I said, who?
I inquired as to who the victim was.
She said, Boo got shot.
Boo has suffered a gunshot
Boo
wound.
got shot.
Boo has become the victim of another violent crime.
I said, oh, my God.
Oh, me, oh, my.
We just saw it. My sister had called somebody up here.
My sibling telephoned another relative.
She called my cousin Pumpkin just stay up there.
In fact, it was my cousin Pumpkin who lives in this very same community.
She called her, and Pumpkin told her that she was on the phone with police.
Pumpkin was already on the phone with the local authorities.
And Chichi, she had left out.
Chichi had already departed.
She went and got in her car, she bailed out.
She found her vehicle and put it in reverse.
And when she left out, when I heard the gunshot again.
As she was departing, a shot rang out, piercing the cold night air.
And when I heard the gunshot, and I seen some boy had running the building over back that way.
Apparently, the perpetrator was seeking cover behind a local building.
He ran in that building.
It was that building over there.
And I seen that car just flew off.
I saw the car depart with a rapid acceleration.
And then I seen a long gun.
I saw a firearm of substantial caliber.
A big old gun in it.
I mean substantial caliber.
If the boy was in the back seat, he had a big old long gun.
In fact, it was the gentleman in the back seat who had the firearm with the extended barrel.
And there you have it, the translation
Wow.
of Boo got shot.
Now I understand. I didn't know she was saying building.
I had no clue.
Bear.
No clue.
No, what that was.
So.
Man.
And now there's a new one, actually.
Yeah.
We collect these.
Yes, we do.
It's a fine collection.
That we're allowed to collect these days.
On 1010 Wins this morning, they had a story about a black guy.
Mm-hmm.
Black guy doesn't call cops for a rape
and
murder.
Yeah, why not? You're busy.
Listen
I'm
to
sure.
Listen to this guy. If I could cue this up. Here we go.
A violent death for a 30-year-old woman in an East New York apartment building. Police are still searching for her killer.
His third-floor window overlooks the space between his building, 745 Blake Avenue, and the next. Below, in the dark, he heard the attack.
A woman struggling. It wasn't like a normal argument between like a couple arguing with one another. It was a woman struggling, fighting someone off.
Waddell Parks and his wife didn't call police because he couldn't see anything. The next morning, the trail of blood led down a hall, through the courtyard, and under the first-floor steps. A woman beaten, raped, and murdered with a belt around her neck.
It was horrible. It was like this woman was fighting for her life, you know, and I feel bad that we didn't call anybody.
Al Jones, 10-10 wins in East New York.
Good fucking job.
Bravo.
Good job, sir. It didn't sound like an ordinary fight. So he's saying even if there's arguments in the building all the time, which I'm certain there are, he didn't call the cops. But he said this was something that didn't sound like a normal argument.
Yeah.
He could hear her fighting for her life. Did he call the cops? I didn't see nothing. I didn't see nothing. Unbelievable.
You think there's a lot of fights in that building?
All the time.
I heard there was recently a big argument about the Google stock and a couple of other things of that ilk.
Yeah. Yo, that's my Wall Street's Journal.
Boo got shot. Boo got shot. All right. As we're on the news clip thing, this is one we forgot to play yesterday. John Montone, one of our faves.
John Montone.
This guy is, how do you describe John Montone? Well, his voice gives it away.
Monotone.
He's monotone and just very dramatic about the dumbest stories.
Yeah.
When it gets really warm out, he goes to Coney Island and talks to people, you know, eating ice cream.
And he always adds in some stupid little thing. Like, here at Coney Island, on the boardwalk, where this walk is anything but bored. Like you try to put something together, and it rarely works.
He's a classic, though.
Hokey.
Here's John Montone's story from yesterday that we didn't get to.
Judy, middle-aged but still athletic-looking, Kenny tells me he can eat all the French fries full of trans fat he wants because he has the right body chemistry.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
What I mean by that, if you have a big bones, you know, if you're going to get fat, you're going to get fat anyway. So I've been eating for a long time, never get fat, look at me.
Right, but then it could be clogging up your arteries.
That might be a fact.
Yeah.
That might be a fact. That might be a fact, but I never thought about it.
Yeah. You got to think about it now.
Sure.
And Kenny is now thinking about it. One French fry at a time. John Montone, 10-10 wins at the McDonald's in Times Square.
Oh, that's every story he does is exactly like that.
See, he has to do the human interest type stories for the most part, and he's running out of stuff to talk about.
They send
so
him
he was
everywhere.
outside of McDonald's or something?
Yeah, there's something about the trans fatty acids and the oil that they're using.
They want the fast food industry to change their oils or something.
Yeah,
right?
they're using an oil that costs $2 as opposed to using good oil, which would cost $5 for a certain amount, for the same amount. And it's bad for you. But who doesn't know that? McDonald's French fries are bad for you. Is he really informing anybody of anything they don't know already? Stop. And he's got to go. They send him, John, all right, we got the story of the day for you. You're going to be hanging out in front of McDonald's. Talk to people about the French fries. Get them eating it. Comment on how it's bad for them. Okay. I'll be shooting myself before I leave today. The human interest story. They send him all over the city, though. He's like the street guy.
Yeah.
The New York City street guy.
Yeah.
No matter what's happening, he's never there. Like, during 9/11, I'm sure he was somewhere else doing some awful story.
About potholes or something.
Yeah. Pothole repairs. Where's a cop when you need him today? When there's a pothole here that needs a barricade put up in front of it. I'm John Montone.
All right, as we move on, this is a bunch of stuff left over from yesterday.
Leftovers.
Did you hear about the redheads? The redhead thing?
Oh, yeah, did read something about that. They don't feel pain as much?
Yes, exactly.
Is that true?
Well, here's the story.
Red-headed women appear to tolerate pain better than the rest of us. It's true. Scientists now trying to unravel this medical mystery. After scientists in Canada discovered a pain-reducing gene in red-headed mice, researchers in Scotland are now set to launch a full-blown study involving humans to confirm their theory that people with red hair, women in particular, experience pain differently than blondes and brunettes.
We're just running out of shit to discover, man. That's what it comes down to. There was a time, man, it was like the Wild Wild West and going back to Columbus and all that. There was plenty of fun stuff to discover.
Things to discover.
Now they're just running out of shit to discover.
That is a really useless fact.
They're trying to say that redheaded women don't feel pain as much. Holy crap.
How could that... Why would that be? What's the difference?
Well,
they don't say guys, though?
No? Which is strange. They said in women in particular. So then the story continues. Listen to this.
So, in the interest of science, we took to the streets of New York to test the theory firsthand.
That's what I'm thinking, right?
Punch a redhead in the face.
That's why I wanted to stop there. I'm thinking they're going out to the streets to test this theory. You got to think they're going to have some kind of torture device.
Said test it. Not ask people about it. Does he slam a pin into their ass?
How funny would it be if it was just a taser? Where's the taser audio?
Good.
We got to play the taser audio now. We're all over the place.
Yes.
But I got excited. I'm like, they're going to test the theory. This could be good, some good audio.
Of course. They don't?
No.
So, in the interest of science, we took to the streets of New York to test the theory firsthand.
Do you have a high pain threshold?
I think so.
Yeah.
Right about there, he should have hit her with the taser.
Just ask her a nice question and then BAM!
And then nail her.
Yeah?
Broken bones, broken wrists, and I didn't cry.
Are you in the rodeo? What are you doing? You'd go into a bar fight with this one?
Oh, yeah. I have 2 kids. That's pain enough, right?
Wow. Another non-story by the news.
Yeah.
And that was on Good Morning America.
Yeah, it was a big story yesterday.
It was a big story yesterday, and that's how they test the theory, by just asking people.
People.
When you broke your arm or something, how much did it hurt?
Did it hurt? I'm John Montone. Awful story.
How funny, though, if they just hit him with the taser.
And people said that they...
Right there in Times Square.
They discovered the trait in a red-headed mouse. And people commenting they've never seen a red-headed mouse.
No.
I haven't either.
Yeah, good point. There just used to be a time where there was so much fun stuff to discover.
Oh, please. Everyone getting in on it. George Washington Carver with the peanut.
Right, exactly.
He discovered something. Jonas Salk with that polio vaccine. There were plenty of cool things to discover. Now scientists are sitting there going, you think this red-headed mouse is going to hurt if I tap him on the knee or something?
With a pin?
Like, stick a pin in his head?
Yeah, they're just bored in the labs. They're like, what else could we do?
He doesn't seem to be in as much pain as this white mouse.
Right.
Let's write it and hit the news with it. Yeah, they've just run out of stuff.
Redheaded, freckled mouse, how ugly.
Dirty Joe has something to add to this, unfortunately, because we're going to try to move on. Go ahead, Dirty Joe.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of redheaded women have fucked up teeth. Apparently you just hit them and they barely even notice.
That is your observation, that most redheads have fucked up teeth?
Oh, yeah. There's very few with good teeth, but yeah, fucked up.
Can anyone back up this guy?
I think he's thinking of this stereotypical from the South kind of, trailer trash, redheaded stepchild kind of thing.
Yeah.
We have them in Wyoming, too.
Oh, you do you?
All right, Dirty Joe.
Oh, yeah. Punch.
We were hoping to do 15 minutes on this topic, but No, just kidding. There's just nothing there. That was a quickie.
This is our house cleaning.
Yeah, pretty much. In the Daily News today, it's a big day, Anthony. Very big day. Do you know what happened on this day in 1945?
1945.
Right.
Well, of course we know.
Anthony and Groucho went somewhere?
Yes. Me, Groucho, Zeppo. I hated when Zeppo came along. Harpo was always busy. Today?
Did you mesmerize Groucho?
Did you mesmerize me?
Did he wheel up to you and say that...
Yeah, he wanted to put me in movies.
You mesmerize him.
I was a little tater tot.
Did he want to know if you were open-minded? If you were open to possibilities?
Groucho was drooling at the time. He wasn't talking to anybody. He was in a wheelchair. He was 1,000,000 years old. I was a little kid.
Really fast. one of our regulars. Sandy King, what's up, Sandy?
Hi, gorgeous. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm a redhead. I'm a redhead. My collies match my cuffs.
You're really a redhead?
I'm a real redhead. Oh, yeah.
Sandy, you have satellite radio?
No, but I'm going to have it after. I mean, you guys really kill me, and I really, I'm definitely going to get XM satellite today. I'm running over.
How did you pick this up? Are you picking it up through your genital wart?
Twato says hi.
How did you know we were talking about this?
I think
because I'm listening to you on the phone.
Yeah, I think she was just on hold for something else.
But anyway, listen, I wanted to ask you guys something. That the Laugh Factory, Jamie Masada wants you to do a show, and I just wondered, I just wondered if you would.
I'm not. Tell Jamie I'm not happy with him.
You're not happy with Jamie?
I was in L.A. and I wanted to go to one of his clubs out there, or the club he runs out there, and he never called me back until I was back in New York. And,
well, he told me yesterday you called him.
And then it was too late. It was too late.
Was it when Dane was playing?
And I think it was Dane Cook.
Yeah, I believe me, they didn't need you in there.
Well,
I passed by the club that night. The line coming out and around the place was ridiculous.
Well, we know a lot of these, comedy club owners, and we do a lot of business for a lot of these guys, and every once in a while I'll call in a favor.
Hey, why not?
Because I love my comedy, and I was in L.A., and the fact is Dane was playing the Laugh Factory, and I called Jamie, because Jamie always says, whenever you're in L.A. and want to see a show, any show whatsoever, give me a call.
Except Dane.
So I didn't feel guilty about it, and I called him, and I didn't get a call back till like Monday. And I did call his cell phone, and he tried to tell me, because I didn't answer the phone, he left a message saying, I didn't have my cell phone for a couple days. Who walks around without their cell phone for a couple days?
When did this happen?
I think it was that it was Dane Cook, and they were packed beyond belief, and he didn't want to deal with the hassle that it would be to get me in there.
Well, my manager also, when I was out there in L.A., called Jamie to see if I could get a couple of spots there. No call back.
Really?
Oh, he loves you, Jim. Oh, Jim Norton.
Maybe he lost his cell phone in a pond or something for a while.
He said if it's on XM satellite, I think 42nd Street and 8th Avenue would be perfect for you guys.
Well, I wanted to do the improv in the Laugh Factory in L.A. definitely when I was out there, and my manager got no call back, so I was like, I kind of took the hint.
But why don't you do it now, though?
Because I'm in New York, stupid.
No, I'm just saying, Laugh Factory, 42nd.
I know where it is. Stop trying to plug.
Well, that's my old home, at Show World. So I just thought it would be great for you guys. And
yeah, really? Did you?
And all the people from Jersey can come and see you.
All right. Well, we'll think about it, Sandy.
All right. Well,
everything else is good?
Do you have an email address?
Has Phil Spector threatened you lately?
Phil Spector, he's having a hair problem. He's a very hairy guy, by the way. He's very, very down there. He's very hairy also.
Did you have sex with Phil Spector?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah?
I had to suck his cock. At gunpoint. It's not funny, but...
It's hilarious.
This is hilarious, and this is what Sandy Kane is saying, allegedly. But you are part of that...
Allegedly? You don't believe it?
I just want to protect my ass. But you're part of that whole Phil Spector case, right?
Yes, I am. In fact, I had a meeting out there last year.
The Phil Spector story is classic, by the way. It was the chick from what? Fast Times, or
she was.
What movie was she in?
Yeah, she was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. She was the wife of that teacher. Remember the hot wife of the creepy,
that was her?
Creepy teacher?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What about, she's dead?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the one Phil Spector killed.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But he's saying...
She was smoking a joint at the end of the movie or something?
But he's saying that he didn't kill her, even though no one else was anywhere near the house. It's just a very suspicious thing. And where's that case at right now, Sandy?
Well, I spoke to the DA Sortino, Doug Sortino, recently, and he said by say January he's going to trial. And thing is, right after he did it, he ran out. He told the chauffeur, "I think I killed somebody."
He told who that?
Huh?
Who did he tell that to?
Phil Spector ran out, and after he did that, after he shot her, he said, "Oh, I think I killed somebody." And the chauffeur, and then he fired.
Oh, the chauffeur.
Why would you fire the chauffeur? You should give him a raise. Hope he keeps his mouth shut.
Right.
Yeah, well...
But who cares about that? You were dragged into the case because you had some fun with Phil Spector back in the day, right?
Well, I was working at the Improvisation and as a guitar player, and I'm a recording artist, and I met him that night, and he said he's going to record me, and he, you know, I went with him into his chauffeur limousine, and he took me to his Central Park South gorgeous suite of rooms, and then he pulled out a gun, and he said, you better suck my dick, you know, and I said, oh, you know, no, before he pulled the gun out, he said, I want you to suck my cock. I said, I don't do that, and then he pulled the gun from under the bed, and he said, you better, and I had to do it.
Did he have a big mule?
It was kind of medium and hairy.
And
the hair on his head, that's the way it is down there.
And that's what happened.
It's like an afro
on
down
this
there.
day in 1945, right? Is that what you were getting at, Opie?
Big balls.
Big balls,
He had
huh?
big balls, huh?
Like the balls were bigger than the dick.
Oh, that's that must have been a treat,
I don't really remember too much, but at least I survived.
Messy hair, huge balls.
Huh?
Sounds like somebody around here.
So I think I'm glad that I sucked his dick because maybe he would have killed me. He had a gun to my head.
He should have killed himself after you did it.
And was it a turn on?
What?
Was it a turn on?
Was he a turn on?
Was it a turn on that he's holding a gun saying, you know, blow me?
You know,
some girls get into some weird, kinky, you know, stuff.
Opie, I'll tell you that, you know, I've been raped in my life. I've been a traveling go-go dancer, and I've accepted rides home, and after a man, you know, rapes you, there's a closeness about it. There's a closeness. There is a
That's terrific.
You know?
That's terrific.
It is, man, and
yeah.
No, I was interviewed on Celebrity Justice, and the guy that interviewed me, he said there's a name for that.
This is a giant cock.
Yeah.
What? No, I'm just saying that, you know, there is a closeness after a man comes in your vagina.
Wait, Sandy, what happened when a guy drove you home? Like, you said we missed that. You said you were a go-go dancer. Somebody drove you home. What happened?
Yes, I was working in New Jersey, and in Passaic, New Jersey, and I'm waiting for a bus, and this, it was a cream-colored Volkswagen, a Latin guy, and he says, Mira, see, come on, I give you a safe ride home. And I said, I don't know if I should, you know, and he, come on, you know, Mira. So it was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I just jumped into the Volkswagen. He's driving me home. He seems like a nice guy from Ecuador, Jose, you know. And then he pulls off on the shoulder on New Jersey, I think the Parkway or something. And he says, fucky, sucky. I go, no. He said, fucky, sucky, sucky. And I said, no. He said, so he starts, he had his hands around my throat, you know, and he's squeezing. He says, fucky, sucky. I go, see, I am your friend, you know. And he I'll tell you, most rapists have small dicks.
So he pulled his cock out the
right. He got on top of me. Like, there's a Volkswagen. We're so close, you know. And he gets on top of me, and he real fast, you know. And
so basically, Sandy, you're saying that the guy kind of brutally raped you.
He raped me, yeah. I said, I am your friend, of course, you know, and I said, do what you want, I am your friend.
Oh, did he tag you in the ass?
No, right in the twat.
Oh, wow,
that's wonderful.
Twat was, see. But,
you know, you probably caught that from one of your awful escapades like this. Not that this was your fault, but, you know.
Yes, it was. She should have known not to get
it. You know, it's funny, Anthony said good instincts. Why did you get into the Volkswagen of an Ecuadorian at 4 in the morning?
Well, because the week before I had got a safe ride home from the same club in a Cadillac. I said, well, the last guy gave me a safe ride
because
home.
they're all
6
similar.
chambers, 1 bullet.
Jesus.
But every
Keep pulling
time
the trigger.
I get home from Ecuador now, I get crazy. And then he you know, I you know, looked at him. I said, you know, I was afraid for my life, you know.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, I hope he doesn't steal my go-go money.
Yeah.
You know, it was like $80, but, you know, he didn't. And he said, get out.
Get out. He throws her out. Sure.
You know, I didn't
stop talking.
To hurt him or, you know, like, push his buttons. You know, rapists are weird people, man.
Yeah.
They go from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde.
We have audio from inside the Volkswagen.
It's in the hole!
Oh, that's terrible.
So how many times have guys done this to you?
About about 5 times in my 5.
You've been raped 5 times.
Yeah, well, I hitchhiked to L.A. once, and a truck driver with smelly feet got me in the back of his little thing there, and I said, you know...
How did he get you in the back?
Got me in the back, man. I was hitchhiking to L.A. I didn't have the fare, so I was, you know, and he was a nice guy, you know. I mean, we had breakfast after in the morning, and then I hitchhiked back to New York.
The guy raped you, and then you had breakfast with him?
Did you have breakfast with your rapist?
Really, you know, and he was a pretty nice guy, you know.
He raped you, and you think he's a nice guy, and you had breakfast with him.
What did you talk about at breakfast the next day?
Well, you know, what can I say? It wasn't I mean, it was weird when you're having sex with someone, and it was like he was a young, nice-looking guy, you know. I mean, but no, but
well, then how is it rape?
How is it
sounds
rape?
very consensual.
It wasn't like the Latin guy almost killed me. This guy, he said, I don't know, it was a weird thing, man. And he said, you know, better. He said, I don't understand myself. You know, I'm a wild lady.
You're gonna make a great witness. You know that? I hope they call you to the stand. How the guy raped you? How did he rape you? It's a weird thing, man. Well, how did it happen?
Let's go. Yeah, we have pancakes after.
But then I hitchhiked back to New York. I said, "Let me out of here. I'm not going to L.A. Let me go." And then I got.
Wait, how far did you get?
Ohio.
Ohio.
Jesus Christ.
Ohio.
Jesus, she was getting raped on Route 80 all the way through Pennsylvania. That's nice.
I had to hitchhike home, man.
What'd you have for breakfast with the rapist? You go to Denny's and have the face slam?
I don't remember, but it was, you know, there is a closeness when a man sticks his dick in you and comes, and there is a word for it. Now,
that's Jimmy.
That there's a closeness about it. You know, even the Latin guy felt kind of close with him. You know,
are a sick broad. You are a sick, twisted broad.
How do you develop Stockholm Syndrome while you're being raped in 5 minutes?
She developed Ohio Syndrome.
Yes, that's where a guy fucking rapes you, and then you decide to have eggs, but you only have them over easy for some silly reason.
Over easy. Well, and rapists have very small dicks.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Sandy, why did you have breakfast with the guy?
Well, because
you were hungry?
Let me tell you, I was at his mercy, man. I'm in his fucking... I have no money. I'm in his truck, and we had sex, and he said, well, you got breakfast now. I said, yeah, okay.
His feet stunk?
Huh?
His feet stunk?
His feet, I mean, he had the smelliest feet. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
You know? And he's supposed to give me money, and he didn't.
I'd hate to have her memories.
Right, and my memories.
That's funny.
Wait a minute, the guy offered you money for sex and didn't pay you, so that's why you're saying it was rape?
Well, you know what happened? I said, you know, after I knew I was going to be, he's going to rape me, you know.
How'd you know? Go through this.
He told me. He said, you better, man. You know, he said, hey, how would you like to smoke a joint? You know, he smoked I didn't really want to.
You smoked a joint, and he said, I'm going to fuck you?
No, after. He said, you know, he stops the truck in the middle of, like, nowhere, man, and the truck stopped. No one's there. He could have killed me, you know? I mean...
And then he just kind of grabbed you and took you to the back of the truck?
Yeah, he said, come on, we'll go in the back. I go, no, I say, I don't want to do that.
And he said, yeah, you're going.
You're going, man, because there he was in the middle of nowhere in a truck stop in his truck. I mean, you know, when you climb into someone's vehicle, like when Lana Clarkson went into Phil Spector's house, that was his, you know, and when he wanted to fuck her, which he probably did, she wouldn't, man, and she probably said, your feet stink or something, your dick is too small, you're too old or something. He fucked her. I mean, he took a gun out, and maybe she grabbed it, and it went off. Maybe something like that. Because when he ran out and he said, oh, I think I killed somebody, it went off finally. He always, you know, pulled guns.
What a witness.
So, I mean, when you're in someone else's domain, like when I'm in your domain.
You can't handle the truth, man.
How embarrassing.
Domain,
Something
like
really wrong going on here today.
Huh?
You know how embarrassed Phil Spector's going to be if you are sitting there telling people that he made you suck his dick? Do you understand how shattered his credibility now is?
He'll just cop the plea.
Yeah, look,
guilty, I did it.
I raped her, I killed her. Just keep that one off the stand.
The damn guy worked with the Beatles, and that's what he's got to deal with.
Dude, fucking Tina Turner he produced.
Right.
If you ever have a puppy.
Phil Spector, the wall of sound.
He was great.
He invented the wall of sound, and he has to deal with this.
He has to deal with this. The man's a murderer. The man is a fucking nut. If you ever met him...
He produced the Beatles, I don't give a shit.
That's right, and a good song by Tina Turner.
Be my baby.
Tina Turner.
Be my baby if you suck my dick.
All right. Thank you, Sandy
No, what
Kane.
I'm saying is...
Thank you.
You're done saying what you had to say.
Thank you, Sandy Kane.
Call us back when you have some more rape stories.
Why don't you do the Laugh Factory with me?
If you keep trying to plug that, what date are you doing it? No one cares.
No, I'm doing it.
No one cares.
I mean,
shut up.
I'll do the Laugh Factory if the whole audience could be Ecuadorians.
Exactly.
Pull up in Volkswagens, all of them.
Right.
And you have to take a ride home from each one of them.
You have a lot.
One bus filled with Ecuadorians and you.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, so help me, I'll rape you. So
Then I'll
rape me,
do
I'll
the
help
Laugh
you.
Factory or the Chuckle House or whatever the hell it's
That's
called.
right.
All right, we got to go, Sandy.
Sandy, if I would have gotten a call back in L.A., I'd be happy to help you plug, but I was a little hurt that I never got a call back in Los Angeles
Well,
when I needed to do spots for The Tonight Show.
But do it for your fans.
Please, my fans don't care. They'll come see me at the cellar.
One hand washes the other.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, but it's so...
Shut up!
Okay.
And
All right.
also the club I did last night for Cringe Humor, which I love those guys, but I was happy to do the show with them. This is why... Shut up!
Shut up.
They love you at the
This
Comedy
is
Village.
why the Cellar is a great club, and this is why the Stress Factory. This is why you do these clubs. You do the shut the fuck up! Holy shit!
Sorry, man.
Jimmy, please make your point.
I can't help it.
I know you can't.
Just make your point, please,
People
Jimmy.
force their dicks in your mouth to stop you from talking.
Hey, listen, man,
It's
you
not
touch-
even sexual.
Hey, Jim, you
Shut
touch my
up!
titty. You touch my
I swear to God,
touch
I
my
hope a
titties.
drunk driver just runs over your voice box. I don't want you to die. I just want your voice box crushed.
All right, Jimmy, make your point.
I am making my point, Sandy. For the love of God, let me make it. Please. That I did the club last night, and the show was good, and I'm on next to last, and in the middle of the set, it's going great. I'm improvising with Patrick, about his stupid dirty foot fetish, and they fucking drop checks. And it was like, could you at least, look, the shows are always good. They have good acts, but we plugged on the air. Could you at least have the fucking courtesy to not drop the checks in the middle of the act? So I asked the girl at the end, why'd you do that? The boss is just, well, you were the next to the last guy. Okay, stupid. Now you know why you're not getting plugged and why no one works your club.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's when,
Why?
In the middle of the comic doing his act, the waitresses will come by, give the tables their checks, and now everyone's going through their pockets.
Everyone.
And talking to each other about divvying up bills and not paying attention to the comic.
And know why? Because these clubs are greedy.
They're fucking the worst.
Because they want to get all those people out so they could get the next show in, and so they could squeeze 3 shows a night sometimes.
Stand Up New York does, I don't even want to mention the name of the club.
No.
I don't even want to mention the name of the club. Stand Up New York does it where they'll have 3 acts, and then they do a check spot that the host will do. Like a 6-minute spot where the host goes up, and it's, kind of you're taking it in the face.
Yeah, at least you know what you're up there for, though.
Then the last comedian has almost no checks to deal with.
Yeah.
And had they done that, but it's like, could you have the fucking courtesy after we plugged to not? And this is not about this Cringe Humor; those guys are great. But could you fucking have the courtesy to not do that?
Dude, you're up on stage when the checks come.
Yeah, and it's
now,
fine.
No, you must have looked though, and how do you?
I asked the waitress, "Why are you dropping checks?" And I knew why she was dropping them, but I had to let the audience hear. She said, "Well, I was told to. I'm just doing my job," and she was just doing her job.
Yeah.
It wasn't her fault.
Oh, you acknowledged it from the stage, though.
Of course I did.
Yeah.
And I shortened the set. It was like, sorry, I didn't mean to go so long. Fucking dumb club. That's why no one works there. That's
Where
why.
is it? Maybe they'll work
I'm
with
not
me.
saying where it is. It's irrelevant.
I'll take the check spot.
No one.
No, but you should. Well, all right. Listen, I don't want to. Jim Norton is a big star.
I'm not. It's not about that. I'm not a star. It's a courtesy when you plug someone on the air, which is for free. At least just don't drop checks.
No, but they usually put the shitty comics at the end.
All right, Marie.
Hey.
What's up, Marie?
Not much. You know what? Sandy's crazy.
Well,
I drive a truck for a living, and I've been from Wheeling, West Virginia, all the way across to the Indiana border. There is no secluded truck stop. They're all well lit.
Well, Sandy, what year were you raped in the truck?
That was about 15 years ago.
So 30 years ago this happened to her.
Yeah.
When she was 41.
No, hey.
Crazy.
I'm.
All right.
Yeah, why? So what's the difference when it was?
It was Because she's saying the rest areas are a certain way. I'm saying maybe in the 70s they were a little bit different. They weren't as well lit.
Of course they weren't.
She has too many of these type of stories.
She's awful.
I think you have some kind of like rape fantasy thing that happens in your head, Sandy.
I think her lifestyle opens her up to being raped.
I agree.
Yeah, that's
what
too.
it is.
That too. Yeah. All right, Sandy, we're going to let you go. What's the big plug today?
Get glib.
Hey, listen for me on Opie and Anthony next time I come with Twaddle with a face on it. I did Twaddle with a face, and I wear the Opie and Anthony G-string.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, we're
How
going to take a break.
fucking great is she? What do you want to plug? She plugs the Opie and Anthony show on the Opie and Anthony show. You're as dumb as they come, Sandy.
That's zilch.
Like sand through the hourglass, so is the Owenay virus.
I got to tell you, though, one of the best reality shows on TV is that goddamn stupid crab fishing show. I don't know how I got caught up in that thing.
What the hell was the crab fishing show?
Most dangerous catch?
Was that like by Lake Kichiguni? Was it going from Cleveland into Canada somewhere? And there was a storm?
The Edmund Fitzgerald? Well, our crab pots were full and we came into shore and...
I really like that song.
Jimmy was asking his questions.
That stupid Gordon Lightfoot.
This song goes on forever.
I love it, though.
And the water was at my ankles, and this song goes on another hour.
Is that the song that makes you just get all tingly, Jimmy?
I just like it because I like the fact that he's doing a 40-minute ballad about
the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Yeah. I looked at the fuel gauge; it was 3/4 full, and we motored on toward our destination.
And then we bought a Rolls Royce on eBay.
Hey, we could kill 7 minutes. Let this play today.
My God. I asked for my money back. He said, "Drop dead, you horse-tooth Jew. You're getting nothing back."
Lives on from the Chippewa on down to the big lake they call Gitchagumi.
Gitchagumi, all right.
The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy.
Gloomy. Gitchagumi with gloomy.
With a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty.
I smelt bad from fish and put on perfumey.
That good ship and true was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came early.
Did they cast off yet? We untied the bow line and untied the stern, and I started the engine with a turn of the key. Jesus. Every friggin' step of the way of the Edmund Fitzgerald. We get it already. We get it. You're on a boat. I took a compass heading of 135, and I turned the wheel. And the purser got me my coffee. I take it light and sweet, but he made it too dark, and I sent him back to the galley. Right, what happened? What happened next?
The north wind
I went to sleep and I had sleep paralysis, and I woke up to the exorcist face in my bed. It goes on forever.
The wind and the wire made a tattletale sound.
What?
And the waves broke over the railing.
This song's only half over, and I still see the dock.
The captain did too. 'Twas the witch of November come stealing.
I forgot my wallet in my car, so we turned the ship around, and we docked again, and I figured I'd stop for a beer.
When afternoon came, it was freezing rain.
Tune in, and 2 hours later, when the ship finally sinks. Enough! And then they're throw in a musical interlude to make it longer. Christ.
Opie and Anthony, the virus is spreading.
I put it as. Just talking about Jimmy's feet.
I've had the ongoing right foot problem for a while now. I've had pain in my right ankles, both of them. And,
both of your right ankles?
I mean, well, the ankle on both sides of my right foot, whatever that is, and on the underside, too. So I go to the podiatrist, and she was actually very good. I'm going to plug her. She was terrific. And she didn't ask me to. I didn't get a discount. The worst last name ever, Dr. Horfor. It's Hoorfar. Horfor. She's on Park Avenue.
Ooh, Park Avenue, doctor.
But she was great. I walked in, and she had me walk in front of her. 5 seconds to go, okay, the problem's with the right foot. Because apparently I walk, I have a duck walk. My right foot flops out when I walk. Like I walk like Chaplin. I didn't know. She told me to walk 5 feet. Hold on, can you see this? This is how I would walk naturally.
It's radio. They can't.
I'm looking at Jimmy walking. Wow.
I didn't know I did that.
Your right foot is poking out.
I didn't know that. I didn't know I did that.
Now, what do you do about something like that?
Oh, she told me I have to have arches made like a fucking 90-year-old. I should be a Monsignor at St. Pat's. I just said there's a position open.
You need arches made?
I have this medicated bandage on my foot for a week, and then I have to go back, and she's going to put another one on, and she did like a little bit of sonar therapy or whatever it is, ultrasound.
Ultrasound?
Yeah. She was
Did they
great,
X-ray it or something?
Yeah, took a quick X-ray. Everything was right there. There was no one else in the office but me, her, and the assistant. She was phenomenal.
Hot.
Yeah.
And your foot.
Yeah.
And you're flat-footed? So you need arches?
Yeah, my arches are collapsing or whatever. She's like, it happens. There's nothing you did.
The arches of an elephant.
just falling down my flat. I'm like, well, why does my right side hurt? She's like, because your feet are flattening out.
Flattening out?
Old pancake feet. I'm a Mad Magazine character. God, I suck. Just when you thought things were okay. Bad sinuses, bad eyes, bad feet, and appendix scar.
Flat feet.
Line up, ladies. Fucking idiots.
I think you never attempted to join the military, because they would have just thrown you out.
For one of 30 things.
Flat feet.
That's right.
Wow. Well, good. I hope they fix that up for you with your arches. But are you going to have to put them in your shoes?
I imagine I will. I don't need this. How fucking old am I?
It's horrid.
But I can finally do the exercise bike again. I was so happy.
You'll finally get a young lady back to your apartment and you start disrobing and
his arches will fall out of his shoes. What are these? My arches.
Yes. Put them in those. The shoes with the lifts.
All right.
Congrats, Jimmy.
You guys want to get Francine in here to do the news or what?
That's what she's here for.
Francine's a classic. She's a classic. She's a college graduate.
She graduated?
I believe so.
She was an intern for a show back on regular radio.
And she also does some comedy on the side.
Yes, she is one of the few women of color that we've had on the show. Beautiful ebony princess.
Thank you, Anthony.
Little Nubian.
What does your shirt say? I slept with Jim Norton, and all I got was this lousy
virus.
That's a great shirt.
And I didn't see that, by the way. I didn't see the virus part on the internet because I planned on wearing it in public.
What, did you have, like, your browser minimized and just saw slept with Jim, got was this?
No, what I saw was I slept with Jim Norton, so I was like, well, that's cool, I could wear that. But then it had the virus part, and I was like, that's not cool.
It's the coolest. That's the greatest part of it.
That's the best part of the shirt.
That makes the shirt. That lets everybody know that you're just kidding.
No.
That's the whole joke.
I slept with Jim Norton. A, I wish you would, and B, why would anybody advertise that? Women, the only time that's ever written down is in a suicide note.
Well, I didn't like that part.
But that's the whole thing. You ever see those shirts? You know, my parents went to Vegas and all I got was this lousy T-shirt. It's like the whole
play off that.
My parents went to Florida and all I got was this lousy T-shirt. That's what that's from.
Why did her eyes get big? Like
she just realized.
Like she thought Rodney Dangerfield was driving a boat right toward her.
That's right.
Now you get it.
Yeah, now I get it.
So now it's funny.
That's very, Jimmy, that's very clever.
Thank you.
Oh, my God. All right, Francine. What have you been up to? You graduated? How long ago?
2003.
Oh, all right.
Way to keep up, Ant.
What do I know? I thought she was in junior high.
No, I work now.
Now you work. That's right. You've had a job for a while. A travel agent?
No, I do,
I know nothing about you.
They call it office management, but it's
Office management?
Yeah.
What are you managing?
The phone.
Yeah.
Is that what you do? You take phone calls.
Her job is to make sure it stays plugged in.
But I have learned to replace printer parts.
You learned to
look
replace
at you.
printer parts.
Yeah.
She's looking around the room all proud.
Yeah. And what does that entail? Like something will break, a roller or something? What could break in a printer? Old style printer with rollers. The Mimeo machine.
I believe the The ink.
The ink can break. That's it.
You're a real maven.
So then I have to order new ink. So I call these people up with a number, and I order it, and then it comes in.
Yeah.
And then I put it in.
You really ought to open your own business. Yeah. You have a working knowledge of printers that is.
I can't wait for your IPO.
It borders on obsession.
Jesus.
What could break on a printer? Ink?
Ink?
My God, hire her.
I forgot how great you are, Francine.
My boss loves me.
I'm sure he does.
He does.
And is he a white gentleman?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, the bosses are always white, aren't they?
Yep.
And what is he? He's nice to you, I guess.
He's very, very nice to me.
Good. Is he inappropriately nice sometimes?
Yes, he is.
He'll talk to you in sexual ways sometimes?
Sometimes.
What'll he comment on? Maybe your ass or something? Or?
Yeah, he'll comment on my shirts and
Who's that lucky Jim Norton?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, if he saw this, he'd be a little shocked. But he'll get to look at my chest. He'll say, "Oh, now I get to look at your chest."
Yeah.
Oh, smooth lines that guy has.
He is good.
Does he direct films?
No, Jimmy, we don't direct films.
And have you ever gone out with him outside of work?
Yeah, I have. And he keeps calling me his wife when we go out.
Really?
Yeah. So all his friends stare at me. Because they know he's married.
You do know you have a lotto ticket here as far as
sexual
harassment suit.
You think so?
Get some cash. Yeah, you could probably get very
yeah,
wealthy.
but he doesn't touch me, so that's good.
Nah, you don't have to these days. Just got to say inappropriate things.
Really?
Yeah. Before you know it.
Bring a little recorder in, Francine.
I'm not that kind of girl.
Wired for sound.
Well, he gives me lots of money, so...
Oh, that's good. Does he give you extra money, even more than your paycheck?
Sure does.
He does?
Yep.
What does he do? Just throw you cash?
Yep.
Like out of nowhere. Say it's Monday, you're at work, he'll just come up and go, "Hey, Francine, here's $100.
He'll say, "Oh, sorry I yelled at you. Here's some money." And I'm like, "Ooh."
How much?
Like $100, $20. I don't care.
This
it's
guy
free
is
money.
So gearing up. He wants you really
Have you ever
badly.
fooled around with him?
No.
No kissing.
He's like almost 100. He's really old.
God, when I heard money, though, my eyes lit up. I'm like, aha, the key. I can do that.
I got money.
Yeah.
He's like 100?
Yeah, he's like pushing 80, I think, or 70.
Are you kidding?
He's 70-something.
Wow.
Yeah.
You probably remind me of the old days.
I could have had you shot.
Jimmy, that was very
hook
not
up
nice.
with you.
Well, it was from a movie.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Create some kind of malada.
Mango class of printer repairman. Both models will be destroyed. The Epson and the Canon. Or is that the same thing? I don't know.
We'll have broken ink all over.
And I will fix it.
Yes, you will.
Yes. You're
So
very
you
talented.
do that, he just throws you free money out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do anything.
But spend it.
Do you wear provocative outfits? Do you wear, like, skirts and short skirts?
Well,
I've never seen you in a skirt, I don't think. You wear skirts? Or because you usually just wear pants?
Well, what happened is the boss's daughter got uncomfortable last year when I first started working there.
What is she, 60?
No, she's 30.
30?
Yeah, and she made me stop wearing all my short stuff. But
really?
I used to. Yeah, I used to wear like short
Because she knew the old man was getting turned on by...
And the old man was going to drop from a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to wear whatever I wanted.
She wanted her pops around a little longer.
Yeah, right? You'll cut in on the inheritance.
Yeah, that's what he told me.
And I leave everything to my ebony sweetheart in the office.
Yeah, he loves me.
Nothing. $1 to my daughter. Worthless. Make her stop wearing skirts.
Yeah.
I don't know why I talk like this.
But she's on vacation now, so I've been wearing skirts for the week.
So she goes away and you go right back to the skirts.
You have to pay your rent.
And where do they gotta pay the rent? Where do your skirts are? Are they short?
Benefits.
Knee high, middle of the thigh, or just below the Brillo pad?
Well, I wear short stuff, so they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I like them.
Do you wear panties under the skirts, or sometimes you just don't wear panties?
I always wear panties.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
You wear thongs?
If the pants are too tight and you can see my underwear print. No, actually, wait, no. When the pants are too tight, I forget. Sometimes I wear thongs.
It's like
She forgets.
It's like Keith Robinson would always say. She wears church-issued panties. That's
a
big
great
line. One of the
bloomers.
greatest lines ever.
Big frilly bloomers.
Church-issued.
Have the panel in the front for support.
Just awful. Practical underpants.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Has he ever gotten a look up your skirt, maybe, and passing the desk, or is there a way to see up your skirt when you're sitting at work?
Well, sometimes if the skirt's short enough, when you sit down, it rides up a little bit.
Yes, it does.
So when he comes by, he might, look a little bit more.
Yeah, you ever catch him with a rod?
I hope not. I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah. Well,
I
it
think
sounds
I would
like
know.
you have a great work.
A lot of people want to know if you're working at St. Pat's Cathedral.
I'll say no.
We had to go to a storage place and look at books. He was tired. We pulled into a motel.
Pulled into the motel. What do they do? What's you don't have to say where it is or anything, but what's the line of business?
Real estate.
Oh, it is real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was some kind of real estate thing.
Cool.
Chemistry wants to know, well, she loads toner. Can she locate paper jams, too?
Yes, I can.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very talented.
I can pull the paper out.
You're definitely an expert.
Yeah.
All right, you want to do the
She works at
news?
Century 18 Realty.
You want Francine to do the news?
Yeah, put the skirt on. Now go load the printer. He puts it on the floor on purpose.
Can I say something before we do the news?
Yeah.
I listen to the show all the time, and Anthony, I was on the train a while back, and I was listening to the show, and you said that you should run when you feel like there are suspicious people on the train.
Yes.
And there was a suspicious guy on the train, and he made me feel uncomfortable, and he's walking towards me.
Uh-huh.
So I ran.
You ran away.
Yes, I did.
Very good.
And he kept looking at me in the next car
Yeah.
when I buzzed for the conductor.
He's called the conductor.
You can't be for real.
You did? So you ran out of the car.
Yep.
You ran to the next car. Were you alone in the car with him?
I was alone because I ride all the way into the Bronx because that's where I work.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm all by myself. And,
Real estate in the Bronx?
Jesus.
yeah.
Oof, picked
Must
a
be
winner
a
there.
booming business.
Nice.
Wow. Where else they had the vacation in Beirut thing? Didn't work out for this guy.
Can I show you something on Baltic and Mediterranean?
That's great.
So you're alone in the car,
Yep.
and this guy was in there. Was he a black guy?
Sure was.
He was, and he looked shiftless, shady. What did he look?
He had a backpack on, and he sat down, and we were on opposite ends of the train.
Uh-huh.
So I sat and I kept looking at him like, he better not move. So
Yeah.
then he started walking towards me, so I just bolted out of the seat and I ran.
Yeah.
And then I got to the next car, and he kept walking towards me.
Were there
so
any people in the next car?
No.
Oh, boy.
So I buzzed because I was right next to the conductor train, and
Uh-huh.
then the conductor came out, and he was like, what's wrong? And I was like, that guy, I think he's following me.
And what did the guy do?
He just sat down and just kept looking at me.
Yeah.
He just thought you were cute and wanted to, try to pick you up.
Was he vandalizing things? Like he kept going from seat to seat and pulling the paper out and punching holes in it and putting it back?
No, but
No.
he looked like he was up to no good.
He wasn't James Toback, was he? A famous Hollywood director?
Was he?
No.
He was just casting for a movie. It's
Did
no
he
big
say
deal.
that you mesmerized him?
No.
She is so far from his type.
That's right.
That's right.
Bring me some lemonade
I'd
if
like
you don't
to
mind.
say thank you, Anthony, for the great advice.
No problem.
Aw.
Look, I might have saved her life.
That's right.
All right.
Could have been
That's fantastic.
Well, Francine's going to do the news for us today.
Yes.
Should we?
You got your own stories, or did you
I
have
sure
somebody
did.
type them up?
I typed it.
I like the way she writes them because she throws in like almost little editorials on the
she
news.
does comedy on the side, right?
Yeah.
You're not moving, are you? You're staying in New York? Don't be a
Uh,
fag. Stay in New York.
Where do you think you're going?
Where she wants to move from Manhattan to shitty Maryland.
Maryland, stop. You're 1 in a million down there.
You can't leave.
Jesus.
yeah, but I could probably try to get my driver's license.
One
if I
of
go
a
there.
million, sorry.
You want to get your driver's license?
Yeah.
That's the reason to move?
Well, it's an idea.
What? You could get a license here. They issue them in New York.
She's leaving to go get her driver's
Yeah,
license.
this is not the island of Dr. Moreau. This is Manhattan.
She's a classic.
You're
I'm
allowed
telling
to
you.
get a license
Yeah,
here.
what's the logic? You're going to go down to Maryland to get your driver's license to do what?
To drive, because it's easier to
drive,
drive around there too.
But once you drive here, you can drive anywhere. It's good to learn in New York.
I know, but I'm getting scared on the subway.
I get scared too.
Really?
Jimmy has his own defense, though, when
Jimmy,
he gets
you
scared.
drive a car.
It's like a skunk.
my little Skechers go up in the air.
A skunk and an octopus shoots ink out. Horrible. So you're afraid of the train. But if you get a license, then you could drive.
Yeah, then I could finally drive.
So you don't have to take the train anymore.
Yeah.
So you're just going to go down to Maryland to get your driver's license and drive around, huh?
Well, we have a house there, and I probably won't have to pay
Who's
rent.
we? Your dad?
My mom has a house.
Oh, your mom.
Well, my dad has a house, too, but I could live by myself.
Well, it's not really her house. She's just kind of working there.
Yeah.
Me?
Oh, your mom?
That was not funny. We own it.
Another mint julep, if you would please. Your parents own houses.
My mom has a house.
Yeah.
Another mint julep.
That's going to be the best line of the day right there.
So
they call me Francine. That's a funny name for an intern. I was going to help you learn to drive.
You were?
Of course, why not?
Jimmy would sit on Jimmy's lap.
Yeah. Daddy, help you.
Drive around.
No, we'll set up some cones. I'll put an egg on them.
And then the one who can stop before they hit the egg.
That's right.
Holy crap, great idea.
Whoever actually stops better gets to hug Dad last.
What was more fragile, the egg or Dad?
It wasn't an egg. It was actually a glass with helpful medicine in it.
I got to give Ben's Roy-ass the credit for this. Let's let Ben's Roy-ass set this up. Go ahead, Ben's Roy-ass. Great idea you got.
Hey, yeah, I wanted to know if you could play Boo Got Shot and maybe Francine could interpret.
Oh, I don't know. Francine really hasn't been brought up around a lot of ghetto people, right?
No.
No, that's why you're so well-spoken.
Why, thank you, Anthony.
You know, you sound, can I say, if I may use a politically correct term, white.
Well, if you say so.
But she's a very intelligent woman, and I think
she
could, translate this for everybody. Mm-hmm. You want to hear some audio and tell us what's going on here?
Sure.
That was very racially sensitive of Aunt, by the way. That was very diplomatic. You know, you speak pretty good for, you know who you are. You sound almost white. I mean, I'm glad you're here. Jesus. There you go, Aunt.
All right.
I try.
Here's Boo Got Shot. Listen to this and tell us what's going on, okay?
I do have black friends.
Of course. All right, so then you're going to...
We all do.
You're halfway there. Listen.
She was taking real bad pictures. They got shot. I said, who? She said, Boo got shot. I said, oh my God, we just saw it. My sister had called somebody up here. She called my cousin Pumpkin just stay up there. She called her, and Pumpkin told her that she was on the phone with police. And Chichi, she had left out, and she went and got in her car, and she bailed out. And when she left out, when I heard the gunshot again, and when I heard the gunshot, and I seen some boy had run in the building over back that way. He ran in that building, and I seen that car just flew off, and then I seen a long gun, a big old gun in the car.
All right, that's Boo Got Shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what did she tell the press that just happened in front of her?
That sounded like Chinese.
That was...
I got like 2 lines out of that.
Yeah?
Boo got shot.
That's it?
That's it. I don't know anything else.
Can't tell what else happened?
Something about a building.
Oh, I didn't even get that part.
The cousin of Plankton. The cousin's name was Plankton, I think, or Plankton or something. A weird name.
Pumpkin.
That's Pumpkin. Pumpkin. Wow.
How would someone get the nickname Plankton?
I don't know.
I can understand getting Pumpkin. Maybe some guy with a big head.
Maybe Big Kev ate him.
What? Plankton. Yo, Plankton was hooked up with Baleen.
That's incredible.
Yo, man, Barnacle guy.
So, anything else on that? That's it. Boo got shot, Boo got shot. All right, well.
Yeah, in a building.
We thought it was worth a try, but...
That is the worst homie nickname ever. Plankton.
I couldn't. How do you know it was pumpkin? I couldn't tell.
Because of the translation.
Because it couldn't possibly be Plankton.
You never know. They might. Who knows? Maybe
not one black guy called Plankton
maybe
out
the
there.
gentleman doesn't know what it means. You know, could have happened.
Oh, boy.
Plankton.
All right, well, Francine's going to do the news. Mike
Yeah.
has an idea from Jersey before we get started. Mike, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Mike,
I was
thanks for
just
calling the
wondering,
program.
What's up?
What? Shouldn't you put this bitch in the dunk tank before she starts?
Yeah, we should.
Find out.
Why?
What's the dunk tank?
Well,
it's like a glass room like they're in over there, or just being behind glass.
Basically, we're saying you're not really worthy to be in the main studio, so we're going to throw you in another studio like Howard does, and it's like a dunk tank. And then you do the news from the dunk tank.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's not very nice.
No.
No, of course not. And we wouldn't do that to you.
Thank you, Opie.
Ooh, a communique on my BlackBerry.
Ooh. Think it's ELO?
Location check.
Might be location check time. Nope, nothing.
Maybe he's looking at his hair in the mirror. Left my extra large medal on your desk.
ELO
right.
location check right behind a beer.
Yeah, he had a rough day yesterday, huh?
Oh.
All right, let's go to Francine.
He actually holds a beer in each hand and then picks the third one up with his teeth and just drinks it back. Alky.
Without further ado, it's
Yeah.
okay. Francine's going to do the news, so.
Yeah.
All right.
You want the ticker?
Yeah, Dirk's got it in the other room.
Oh. Cook. Take a cook.
Stay out the bushes.
There you go.
All
Jesse Jackson for inspiration.
Thank you.
And now, Francine with the news. Francine.
Apologize to O&A is what I say to the church, as one of your holy men in robes has been caught up in yet another sex scandal. Seems as though rector of St. Patrick's Cathedral, Monsignor Eugene Clark, has been carrying on an adulterous affair with his married secretary, Laura De Filippo.
Excuse me. You have to, because there's a stupid glitch. You have to, at least, who is he again? Because there's been two problems.
He's a rector, St. Patrick's Cathedral, Monsignor Eugene Clark.
Eugene?
Clark.
Yeah.
Now get this. The Daily News reports that many worshippers at St. Patrick's said they were grateful that the scandal wasn't worse. Translation, well, at least he wasn't caught with a 12-year-old boy.
Exactly.
Let me tell you something, you fake wannabe righteous douchebags. We went through 2 years with no radio. You took our pride and joy off the air, and we had to deal with Howard and Limbaugh and O'Reilly and that misogynistic fat fuck from California. You came from the same church that got our pals O&A exiled out of Radio Land for 2 years for a stunt they had nothing to do with. This rector is in and out of Vaginaville as he pleases, and this is all you have to say. You disgust me.
Oh, very good. I like the editorial.
Definitely.
I think the most impressive part there was learning that Steve had a radio show in California. Monsignor Cook.
That's a hell of a start to the news right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, Francine, continue.
This is bad news for the church as it's already dealing with Sandra Giselle, who has supposedly bedded 4 of her Christian Brothers Academy Catholic school students. Giselle, 42, described as a stunning blonde, is married to a powerful Albany banker and has been booted.
Where is he a banker?
Albany.
One more time. Where?
Albany?
Okay. Where is Albany?
I'm
trying to think where Albany is. Albany.
Do you know where, let's say, are you good with state capitals?
A little bit.
What is the state capital of our fine state of New York?
That would be Manhattan.
Very good.
Manhattan, very good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And where is this guy from?
He's from
Or bank?
Albany Bank.
Albany.
Albany.
Okay.
All right. I think we should do a few more capitals.
I only
Maybe after the news.
I don't know many. How about this? Louisiana.
Yeah, what's the capital of Louisiana?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, Louisiana.
That's what's true.
2 for 2.
Very good.
Anyone else have a capital they want to know? Nathaniel's always good for one. Nathaniel?
What is the capital of Sacramento?
Ooh.
Would it be California?
Very good. The capital of Sacramento is indeed California.
3 for 3. Nathaniel, you got one?
Washington State.
Ooh, not
Washington State.
Washington State. This is a tough one.
You know any cities in Washington State?
I do know that they wear flannel shirts.
Okay.
And
Time machine and go back 15 years.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, in concrete maybe.
and Microsoft is somewhere out there.
Oh, very good.
Very good.
That's Silicon Valley.
Very good.
Silicon Valley. That's it.
Okay.
But what's the capital?
Washington State.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to pass.
She's passing.
All right. 3 for 4 is not bad, though.
Thank you.
All right.
Louisiana you got with Cincinnati. I was surprised.
That was a good one. All right. Why don't we go back to the news? Derek, if you will. Here's Francine with the news.
Jeanine Pirro fumbled and paused for 32 seconds during her first official speech for her run for the U.S. Senate. After 32 seconds, she said, "Where's page 10? Seems as though Pirro spent too much time bashing Hillary Clinton instead of concentrating on the issues. During her speech, she told her listeners, Clinton shortchanged New York. She hasn't delivered, and she will find out that the people of New York have not forgotten her empty promises. Note to Pirro, Hillary Clinton is very much still the front runner for this race, with 68% of the vote according to the polls. So instead of trying hard to point out what Hillary hasn't done, why don't you go home and memorize your speech?" The Daily News reports Pirro, who's been trying to cover up her philandering, money laundering husband, has been pocketed $12,000 in campaign funds from firms associated with organized crime.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Italians, right?
That's bad.
Italians.
That's bad.
Yep.
So I guess you're a Hillary Clinton supporter, based on what I just heard?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know the show doesn't like her at all, right?
Oh, you don't?
No.
Nah, she's...
Well, she's a woman.
We like women. We just don't like her.
Do you like Jeanine instead?
I don't know if I like her either.
Well, I like her.
I think she's got spunk, that Jeanine.
Let's go to Nick in Wisconsin. Nick?
Hi, I was wondering if Francine could tell me the capital of Gainesville.
Gainesville. Oh, that might be a tough one. Gainesville. The capital of Gainesville.
Gainesville.
Come on, Francine. You're 3 for 4. That's not bad. I know you could get this one. Concentrate. Some of these guys are calling you stupid out there. I know you have it in you. Come on.
Would it be...
Anything?
Gainesville. She's got it. I know you got it. It's on the tip of her tongue.
Tallahassee?
Tallahassee! She pulled it out, baby!
Tallahassee.
4 for 5. Oh, you were making me sweat.
You wanted to move to Maryland, you were saying.
Yes.
Do you know the capital of Maryland?
I always thought it was Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. is its own little entity.
No, it's the District of Columbia.
Yes.
Its own.
So the capital, what is the capital of Maryland?
Well, I said I thought it was D.C.
And you're right. It is indeed.
It's a trick question, Francine.
I was trying to throw you, but
God.
you are unthrowable.
Woo! One more before we get back to the news. Mike in Jersey. Mike, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey.
Hey, long-time fan, first-time listening to you guys back on the satellite, man. Just got out of the military. Haven't heard you guys in about 4 years.
Wow. Welcome home. Welcome home.
Stop. Fuck Spaz.
All right. Go ahead, Mike. What do you got?
Hey, Do you know where the capital of Thailand is?
Thailand.
Or do you even know where Thailand is?
I believe Thailand is an Asian country.
Very good.
It's somewhere in the ocean.
Very good.
And I like Thai food.
Oh. Well, that pretty much describes Thailand and where it is.
Right.
And what they do.
It's a place where sneakers never fall off.
A lot of people want to know where you graduated college because, you know, there's a lot of parents out there and they want to send their kids to a nice college. It seems like you have a lot of knowledge, so why don't you give your college a plug?
That'll be New York University.
There you go. New York University.
NYU. That's right.
All right, why don't we get back to the news with Francine?
Dove Soap Company is still getting plenty of attention for their new advertising campaign for women with real curves, which includes the production of several billboards and magazines ads with 6 quote-unquote average-sized broads in the background. The fact of the matter is, these women are not average, for although they are fat, they have a visible waistline, no cellulite, no rolls, no guts, no triple chins, no stretch marks. And for the most part, they're not unattractive. Hey, Dove, if you want to be real, here's a suggestion for your next ad campaign. Why don't you get Oprah, Star Jones Reynolds, her faggot husband, Liza Minnelli, Leona Helmsley, and Whoopi Goldberg, get them together, and take a picture of them in their underwear with 2 socks rolled up in their panties, and call it For Women with Real Balls. Put that on Times Square. Till then, I'll stick to my Lever 2000. Made for your 2,000 body parts.
Is that what you use, Lever 2000?
Sure do. It smells great.
Very good.
And it keeps your skin very smooth and shiny,
But
right?
she makes a point with the Dove ad. This Dove, right?
That's right.
They're trying to present real women and fat women,
right?
But they're not real fat women.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're not really fat.
They're still models.
And they're relatively attractive.
There you go.
There you have it. Let's say hi to Joe in Massachusetts. Joe?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
Hey, I want to ask Francine if she knows the capital of Chicago. I'm a truck driver, and I've been all over the place, and she's been doing an awesome job. I don't think she can get this one.
That is a tough one.
Yeah,
the
Chicago.
capital of Chicago.
This is a tough one. What are you, 5 for 6 so far? You missed that one, right?
Yep. Chicago would be Illinois.
The capital of Chicago is Illinois.
That's right.
Yep.
All right, 6 for
It's
7.
pronounced
Very
S.
good. We'll take one more before we get back to the news. Brian? St.
Yeah.
Louis? Checking in? Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to know what the capital of Indiana is.
Ooh, wow, that's a really tough one. I don't even know if I know that one.
That would be Minneapolis.
Holy crap.
Minneapolis, Indiana. Yeah.
How'd you learn the capitals?
That would be geography class.
Very good.
I guess they have a pretty good geography program over there at NYU.
Well, I learned it in junior high school.
Junior high. All
With
right.
coloring.
Well, you remember? What do they give you? Crayons and a map?
No, we got color pencils.
Color pencils and a big map of the United States, and you got to color in the states and mark the capitals.
Yep.
Did you enjoy doing that?
I enjoyed the coloring part. It was
I
great.
Sure
don't
you did.
doubt it for a second.
Dean of NYU checking in and just wants to say thanks, Francine, for the plug.
Not a problem.
All right, let's get back to the news with Francine.
Coming to subway stations near you are future robberies, rapes, and possible murders.
And you know that from almost experience.
That's right. That's what some critics are fearing, as the MTA system is planning on spending all their monies in surplus on building their headquarters over at the west side rail yards instead of hiring more security personnel and token booth workers. So, as you get home dumbfounded that your iPod, wallet, and car keys are missing, or if you're staring Google-eyed, scared shitless, staring at some homeless guy jerking off across from you because you were too busy reading your John Grisham novel, you can say, thanks, MTA. You make my fucking day.
Oh, a little rhyme.
It rhymed.
It did.
And that really did happen to me. I was reading my John Grisham novel.
Which one?
Was it the one about the young lawyer who has the thing to overcome?
Wait, let me try to remember. I believe it was A Time to Kill.
Okay, what's A Time to Kill about?
It was about... actually, they made a movie with it, and it was about... Samuel Jackson's daughter got raped by two rednecks, and he killed them before their court case. So he had
You're damn right I did!
He had a white lawyer represent him, and it was like back in the days, and supposedly there was a lot of racism.
Good old days? No, it wasn't back in the days, was it? What year was it supposed to be, Than? Modern times, whatever year the movie came out?
I had no idea, but it didn't look like it was modern times, because they didn't have like Fords and stuff like that.
They didn't have Fords, right?
Of course.
But yeah, that was what the book was about. So I was busy reading it, and this was the first incident that happened to me on the train that was really awful. And I was really busy reading and enjoying the book, and the car got empty, and some freak got on. And by the time I looked up, he was jerking off.
Really?
Right in front of me.
Of course, right in front of you.
Did that bother you?
Of course it did. I was
course.
very uncomfortable.
Maybe it was the book cover he was looking at.
No, I don't think it was the book cover.
Was he looking at you? Did he finish?
I ran, so I don't know.
You're running away a lot. You might as well just run home at this point. The subway is not working out
Why
for
don't
you.
Why don't you stop working in the Bronx?
Well, I tried to get a job in the city, and it's really hard.
Why?
I don't know. I send out my resume all the time, but, like, nobody calls me back.
I wonder why.
What's on your resume? Could we please see that?
I'll fax you guys a copy.
I'd like to see it. Maybe we can help you out.
And is it in crayon? Tony in New Hampshire.
No, it's in ink.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Francine if she knew, if she could help me with what country England is in.
Oh, now you're...
And maybe an export. I'm writing a report. I need import, exports.
What country is England in? Now I think you're just messing with her. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
That's right, because we're Blair is the president.
Right.
And England is next to...
But what country is it part of?
The UK.
The UK.
All right, very good.
United Kingdom.
And it's next to Ireland, I believe.
All right, very good.
And they have problems with that.
Yeah,
a little bit. A little bit.
I've been reading.
Okay. How many more news stories, or is that it?
Just a couple of celebrity news stories.
Oh, those are always fun. We'll end with some celebrity news with Francine, okay? Derek? No? There it is. All right.
Oh, I thought we'd get the...
Oh, you want to do that?
I think so.
Yeah, a little low.
All right. Hold on, we'll get that in a second for you, Francine.
Okay.
Let's see. Illegal Joe in Canada.
Good morning, boys.
What's up, Joe?
I'm hoping Francine can settle a bet between me and my friend. I'm looking for the capital of Atlantis.
Ooh. Capital of Atlantis.
Yeah.
Georgia?
Georgia,
Damn it,
Atlantis, Georgia.
Told you.
Yeah. Why? Your friend said Georgia?
Yeah.
I think you lost that bet, my friend.
Thanks, boys.
All
Thanks,
right.
Francine.
You're welcome.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to be on in Canada when the XM starts up?
I'm hearing we're going to be.
Awesome.
Oh, Canada. I don't know the rest.
When does Canada start? XM Canada.
Yeah, when does that start?
I think soon, huh?
Wasn't Elo up in Canada?
Yeah.
He's doing something?
He had a location check in Toronto.
So there would be no reason to go to Canada for something satellite related unless we're going to.
I'm hearing we're going to be part of XM Canada.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Sure.
All right. Do we have the entertainment music for Francine? Here we go, Francine.
Nope.
People magazine reports that former pop star Paula Abdul is still swimming in deep shit over allegations from former contestant Corey Clark, who claims he had her bent over screaming, Do you love me? Do you love me? Clark shocked Idol fans in May when he appeared on ABC Primetime Live, alleging he had sexual relations with Abdul and cheated by coaching him for the show.
Yes, we heard about that.
Paula, you're a judge in a contest. You can't fuck your contestants. That's like sleeping with your college professor for better grades. It's unfair to the others if Clark can prove that you did indeed pummel that ass, you should be canned from all judging panels, you filthy
Do you know anything about sleeping with professors for grades?
I'll plead the fifth.
Oh.
Did you really?
Did you really?
Did you sleep with a professor once?
No.
Yes, you did.
No,
yes,
I
you
didn't.
did. What'd you do?
One.
Huh?
What'd you
Just
do?
one.
No, I didn't.
What'd you do?
What'd you do?
Come on, what'd you do?
It's just us and a few friends.
How did it
listening.
happen? It's XM, no one listens.
Yeah, really.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we have like 8,000
Don't worry
listeners.
about it.
Well, it was after school anyway.
It was after you finished school or after
Yep.
the day?
After I finished school.
After you finished school.
Yep.
There was a professor,
Mhm.
and you went out with him and some sex.
How old were
ensued.
you?
I forget. I was in my 20s.
How long
you're
ago
in your
was
20s. So it was
Year?
your
Actually,
fifth or
about a
sixth
year
year of
ago.
college.
A year ago. So, was there some chemistry there during class? And I don't mean it was chemistry class.
No.
How old is he?
40?
Yeah.
And what was the class?
That's a good question.
What did you get in it? What grade?
A+.
She doesn't even know what the class was, and got an A+.
Aunt and I will be paying for your rent to stay in Manhattan. You can't go
great.
anywhere. Man.
Absolutely not. You've got to stay here.
You got to stay here.
So
we'll teach you to drive. We'll get you a job. We'll pay your rent.
Did you approach him?
But you don't remember what class it was?
It had something to do with government and history.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And did you approach him?
No, we'd been emailing each other for a while. Not really a while. He stopped emailing me, and then his girlfriend went away somewhere. She left.
White guy?
Yeah.
Ah.
And then he wrote me, and he was like, well, she went away. So I was like, whatever. So then he wrote me back, and I was like, okay, well, he's writing me, so I guess I'll talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
So then we exchanged phone numbers off the internet. Because, yeah, and then that's how it happened.
And so then you called each other and started talking.
Yeah.
And you hooked up for a date. You
a date.
went out. Oh, did you go anywhere or it was just sex?
No, we went out.
Yeah.
Where? Where did he take you?
Well, we went to
A fine piece of ass like you. Where did he take you?
to eat.
Where?
That's it.
It was like a bar restaurant.
Uh-huh. Little bar restaurant.
Mhm.
And then was it back to his place or yours?
Well, I was living with my aunt at that time, so I couldn't go back to my place.
No, so it was back to his place.
Yep.
Nice place?
Pretty nice.
Yeah, okay. And then what happened? Like, was it awkward? Is your professor? Or was it just, you guys had been drinking at the bar and just get in, tear the clothes off, and go to it?
Well, I think it was just gradual.
Yeah.
And I think he liked me for a long time. And I hadn't had sex in a year and a half, so I really had to. So
Really?
That's how, he was lucky.
He was lucky.
Yep.
Was he a good bang?
He was all right.
He was all right.
Did you make him wear a bag?
Of course I did. You serious?
Oh. Rookie.
And that was it?
No, so we went out for like
Did he flip you over?
6. What do you mean flip me over?
Did he try to put it in your poop chute?
Yeah.
No, but he kept trying to get me to give him oral sex. That was gross.
And you said no.
Yep.
You don't give Hummers?
What was gross about it?
What's gross about it?
Yeah.
I just don't like doing it.
No, huh?
Mm.
Grab the back of your head, did he? Try to push your head down a little bit?
No, but he was always talking about it.
Yeah, I bet.
That was really annoying.
Did he say things
How about a blowjob? Don't you love blowjobs? Oh, I love getting blowjobs. How about a blowjob? You ever?
Just like that, I swear.
Really?
Exactly like that.
There's candy in it. You don't give Hummers, Francine?
Well, I have, but not a lot. So.
Francine.
Not really a fan of that?
Not a fan.
Did he do that to you?
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
I didn't ask him to. He just did it.
Yeah.
Was he good at that?
Yeah, he was all right.
All right.
This guy stunk.
This guy was awful.
If that's the reaction after a year and a half without getting dick, and he gives it to us, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, a year and a half.
Awful.
What
was
the problem with him? Obviously, there was a problem.
Well, I think it was just, for me, I think it was just the aura of it. Sleeping with your professor was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was, I had to have it. It was a year and a half. You have to do it after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Why was he lousy? Like, what was it about it? After a year and a half.
I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't like it.
No, huh?
I couldn't get into. Well, I did. You know, I faked it all, but.
It's a classic.
Something tells me that if you're having sex with Francine and you look over, her eyes are open and she's just looking at the ceiling, and you know she's just somewhere else.
Yeah. Just bored.
Just trying to figure out what's going on.
Like, if you just stopped fucking her and said pizza, she'd go, I like pizza.
Yeah. Whatever. Oh, this is a very good question. Joe the trucker. I always get confused by this one. Joe, go ahead.
Hey, she's so good with geography. I'm just wanting to know if she got an A+ in history. Does she know who won the Civil War?
Oh, very good. Who won the Civil War?
The Civil War.
That'll be the Americans?
The Americans.
Technically, that's correct.
Yeah, technically.
She is correct.
We'll give that one to you.
Do you know who was
Thank you.
fighting in the Civil War?
The Americans and the Japanese?
The Japanese.
Very good.
Wow. And we're looking at 1945 on this day.
Mm-hmm.
The Japanese were defeated in the Civil War. They surrendered.
Bravo.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's what happened 60 years ago to tie this all around.
And the whole thing, the Emancipation Proclamation came out of that.
Mm-hmm. You know what that is?
That would be the freeing of the slaves.
Bravo. Another
Very
correct
good.
answer.
Very good.
Thank you.
You have one last story?
Yeah, I guess I could do one story one more story.
All right, let's hit it. Francine.
Could somebody shove a cock down Jennifer Aniston's throat?
She doesn't like it.
This bitch can't.
I was thinking that about 5 minutes ago.
This bitch can't stop whining about her breakup with Brad Pitt. No wonder he left. You can catch Jennifer crying and whimpering on the cover of every magazine and newspaper. In between her buckets of tears, she told Vanity Fair, "There's an amazing man wandering the streets right now who's the father of my children. Jen, it's women like you that make the rest of us chicks look bad. Stop whining and get a new dick."
Wow. All right.
Because let's face it, you're no matchup for Angelina Jolie. And last but not least, former ABC News anchor Peter Jennings is dead, but you're not. So tune in next time when I'll tell you the telltale signs of lung cancer.
Oh, very good.
That's
a teaser.
Yeah,
teaser.
she left us hanging.
That's
Just
right.
like she did her
Professor.
teacher.
Yes.
Left him hanging out in the breeze.
Wow, I don't know what to say.
Would you put this in your mouth? The ink needs to be changed. How would he ask you? Like, what would he say?
Just like how Anthony said it.
Yeah?
Just like
talking about blowjobs all the time.
Constantly and saying it like repeatedly. Can I get a blow? Can I get a blow? Can I get a blow?
Did you kiss
a
it?
little odd.
No.
Why? Did you have a dirty penis?
I don't care. I just don't like doing it.
Did you sniff it?
No.
You gotta peel back the skin and put your nose right under the helmet ridge and go.
Oh, God. You are disgusting.
All right, we got to take a break. Francine, thank you so much for coming in.
Another bang-up job.
We can't wait to have you back on the program. Please don't move anytime soon.
She is a star.
She's a star in the making.
Thank you.
We'll continue with the Opie and Anthony program in just a bit.
It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Match Wits with a Half-Wit.
I don't get it.
Starring Francine as the Half-Wit. And Master of Ceremonies, Anthony Bert Convy-Hair Cumia. With subjects like famous women in history.
Do you know who Helen Keller was?
Is she a star?
No.
Geography.
What is the capital of New York?
Manhattan?
Wrong, idiot.
And U.S. presidents.
Lincoln, what was his biggest impact on the country as president?
He wore a big hat.
You're what they call ignorant.
Don't let her taunts intimidate you.
I'm book smart.
What kind of book?
I just read a lot of Grisham novels.
God!
If you have the slightest ability to retain information, you'll win.
I did really bad in high school.
Away with you! Away! Away! Leave!
Anyone can win at this game. Right, Francine? Amen, sister.
Are you breathing? Are you breathing?
All right, let's go right to the phones and say hi to Jock. What's up, Jock?
Hey, boys.
Hey, Jocko.
Hey, Jock.
Hey, the second golden ticket goes to Francine. I could listen to her all day long.
She is really good, man.
There's just something about listening to her.
Good job, guys. I'm out of here.
All right. The combination of the whole thing. The intelligence, the voice.
Yeah.
Fantastic, isn't it?
She's just smooth as silk when it comes to the news.
One instant feedback said that she sounds like a drunken Cindy Brady.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, we like Francine. We're going to have her back soon.
I agree.
It's been way too long. She's only been on the new show, I think, 2 or 3 times. That's it.
She graduated from NYU.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I am stupefied.
I learned to fix printers. What happens to them? What do you fix? Ink? All right. Not only is it the most common question, the most basic thing you can think of, but it was kind of answered in question form.
Because she wasn't sure.
Ink? Yeah, I think it's ink.
Yeah,
that's
ink.
That's a short skirt. Maybe he doesn't even put the printer on the floor. Maybe he puts it way up on the top shelf and has a ladder by it.
Yeah, so she's got to crawl up the ladder.
Go change that printer and let a log slip out. No one's looking.
Take a little peek.
Ooh. Ooh.
All right.
Filling up.
Mm.
You ever have that happen, though? You just fill it up a little bit?
A little bit? A little plump?
Yeah, a little plump.
You got a little plump?
Yes, but usually when I'm...
What?
He's saying that, and it's a room full of guys.
But that's not why I'm filling up, dude. It's just.
How are we supposed to answer that?
Truthfully, I don't mean. I'm not looking at you guys filling up.
Why are you filling up all of a sudden?
I think is he fantasizing about Francine? Yeah.
Maybe I was just thinking about her in a short skirt and a ladder.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well,
there you go.
That's not you and your apple cake, although it is low fat.
It's blueberry.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I'm obsessed with blueberries.
I like blueberry, too. They say they're a superfood.
I was going to say, I love superfoods.
What's a superfood?
You see a lot of
salmon, blueberries, spinach.
Why couldn't ass be a superfood?
What?
I'd be fucking on my road to good health.
The ass. What signifies a superfood?
I don't know.
And what do they do? Why are they so super?
Well, it has a bunch of it's any food that's paralyzed.
This pork chop fell off a horse.
It's thanks, man. It's a food that I think you could eat, almost get everything you need nutritionally out of it. I could be wrong. Somebody in better shape than me, which is probably 98% of you, could
How
call
can
in.
eating a blueberry be
antioxidants and stuff like that for good
You
for
can't
cancer.
just live off of a blueberry.
No, but I think it has a lot of good things in it.
Goodness.
I almost said
it's
goodness.
the foods that are full of goodness.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you for that complete lack of any explanation.
I know, believe me.
Eric got me a website about superfoods.
Oh.
Try including some of the following superfoods into your diet. Each food contains vitamins, nutrients, and or minerals that are believed to contain special properties for health, disease prevention, and or longevity. Some of the superfoods. Broccoli.
Everyone loves broccoli.
It's everything that tastes bad, basically.
Yeah.
Broccoli.
Where's apple cake?
Carrots.
Is apple cake on that list of superfoods?
Oh, and it's not.
Oh, goes right to my thighs.
Chili peppers. Spinach.
Soup's good food.
Mushrooms, tomatoes, strawberries, papaya, pineapple, and kiwi. Mangoes, citrus fruits, apricots, bananas, garlic, green tea, beans, soybeans, and tofu, salmon, and oats.
Oats? Sounds like horrible stuff to eat, all that
Right.
crap.
What are you going to do, eat some salmon and then oats and then take a 4-week shit? Imagine this nice salmon and oats dump. You're going to walk into the bathroom after somebody drops that. Fucking blueberry stains around the bowl. All right, super colon, we get it. It's just so healthy.
Log comes out with a cape on it.
Instead of farting, your asshole opens and you hear... Bam, bam, bam. And why is it that
Going to the toilet of solitude. Huh?
What?
Superman, Fortress of
Oh.
Solitude? Nothing? No.
I didn't get it.
That's reach. What's going on?
to unveil it.
Wow.
That's cool.
Then the nurse, believed to be the one grabbed by a sailor she'd never met.
He really bent you back. Did you have any back damage or vertebrae injury or anything? No, not at that time.
Edith Shane is now 87. She was 27 back then when both the Japanese and she surrendered unconditionally.
What was the actual best kiss you remember in your life? I've had a lot of best kisses.
Broad's 87?
Edith likes to laugh,
Wow.
and she likes men.
Wow.
You have 3 boyfriends?
Now?
Do you still kiss like this?
And she's a slut. Just like
As
the old
for the
days.
sailor,
What a great
his
photo.
identity is murkier at the moment. A Rhode Island man named George Mendonça has the edge, though others claim it's them.
Of course, I was drinking and celebrating and raising hell with everybody else.
George's case was boosted by Mitsubishi researchers at the Merle Labs. They did 3D imaging of George's face, then de-aged it.
That looks
Seemed
like
to
him.
get a pretty good match with the sailor's photo taken by Alfred Eisenstadt. In movies, guys who grab women and kiss them tend to get slapped. Maureen O'Hara fractured her wrist slapping John Wayne. The kiss has ended up
show
on
her.
a stamp. It's been parodied on The Daily Show and on this Don't Ask, Don't Kiss and Tell New Yorker cover.
Kiss me like that.
These two celebrated their 20th anniversary by imitating a 60-year-old kiss.
Can I bend you back? Let's see. How would we do this?
Jeannie
please
Mo,
let her fall.
CNN,
Oh.
New York.
Crack her hip.
Yeah.
She's 87. She makes it Ginny whatever. Just breaks her hip.
Or what happened is if she hit the ground, all of her bones would just turn to dust, like if you unwrapped a mummy quickly. It would just be a pile of skin and a working mouth and head.
A leech with gray hair.
Obviously, they're talking about the famous kiss in Times Square that happened 60 years ago today. It was the sailor.
VJ Day victory over the Japs.
Who bent over the nurse and planted a big wet kiss on her.
And I love
mouth.
those. This is the beautiful thing about those days. Instead of fighting him off, she holds her hat to make sure it doesn't fall.
Don't let the hat slip off.
I like that.
Yeah, this was a soldier. It's in Times Square. The nurse, who was, I guess, in a building in Times Square. They hear about the end of the war. That's it. The Japs surrender. Everybody runs out onto the street to celebrate. This woman comes out, and this sailor is walking by her, sees a pretty nurse, just grabs her by the waist, dips her, and they start making out. And a photographer was there, snapped the picture. It's a famous picture now. But it's one of those sweet memories of old, picture historic. No one looks at it like, holy shit, that guy would be in jail today.
Let's go down to Times Square right now and reenact it.
In jail.
To show you how
locked up.
To show you how times have changed.
Oh, have the times changed?
Either that or the nurse would look up, "Why'd you kiss me, Daddy?"
Yeah. Saturn honking in the picture. Hey.
Yeah. Times are a little different these days.
The way the country has changed. Forget it. Yeah, I defy anybody. Go down to Times Square. I like how they had someone reenacting it. They were a couple. They knew each other. Just go down there, grab a woman off the street, dip her, and start making out with her. Watch how quickly you will have the police throwing you in jail.
Right, just jumping on you. Wrestling you to the ground.
Oh, yeah, you'd be pummeled. There'd be pictures of you, all right.
Yeah, times have changed.
Getting a club over your head. Was that how long ago? 60 years?
Someone took a photo of our own producer like that in Times Square once.
Oh, yeah?
On New Year's Eve, yes. And he had just stumbled out of a bar, and he was kissing an 8-ball.
Eddie Griffin's calling in at 10.
What? He's calling in, "Hey, dude, are any of the interns here?"
Boston.
Oh, yeah. He comes in with a guest suggestion today, the 12-year-old kid that does news. But then he casually drops, "He's from Boston."
He's from Boston.
Of course he is.
Does the news after Fox 25.
He's a Red Sox fan.
I'm from Boston. Fox 25.
Ben doesn't notice anything until it's Boston or the Red Sox is involved. Then he pipes up.
Yeah. That's what happens. Him and his brother. His brother's a Yankee fan. He's a Red Sox fan.
Darf!
This is my favorite one, actually, from Laszlo yesterday.
Comb your hair, stupid!
Stupid! All right. So Eddie Griffin should be calling in at 10 o'clock. Howie Mandel should be in studio at 10:30. And some dude Caesar's here from the Big O and Duke show, dropping off a demo. They want to be considered for one of the golden tickets. You want to explain the golden tickets?
Oh, well, we have our gig here on satellite radio. We're very happy here. There's a lot of freedom, a lot of opportunity to do the show we want to do.
Other people not happy with our show, according to the New York Radio message board.
What'd they type, Op?
Having heard a number of ONA XM shows and having been a big fan of theirs for years, I can honestly say that their show is not nearly as good now as it was on WNEW.
It's not what I meant.
Half of the intrigue of the show is seeing how much they could get away with and how they can mask what they are trying to say.
Wait.
Who's this guy?
This guy?
I don't like this guy.
I don't like the new guy.
This guy's a whingy cousin from Long Island. I like
want
the other guy.
How's the other guy?
Happy to learn to turn.
Having heard. Seeing... I can't do the voice.
How did you lose it? It was you.
You sound like fucking Shelley from Glengarry Glen Ross now.
It was my only voice.
It's like when they changed the Fred Flintstone voice on me. I was expecting...
How did I do it? Having heard... Seeing how much they could get away with and how they can mask what they're trying to say well enough to survive the dump button while still letting you know what they meant.
That's the guy. He's back.
The no-holds-barred satellite universe takes all that intrigue away. I don't think their XM show is half as good as their NEW show was.
His arms are flailing like he's typing.
But he's not even typing anymore. He's just moving them up and down.
I can't do the voice anymore.
No, that's the voice. You had it.
He kind of wafts in and out of it a bit.
Every day there's another ass that is just trying to wreck our buzz.
You know what annoys me is when they say that part of the fun was the intrigue. No, it wasn't, you asshole. That's a necessary evil.
It was a pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah. F&A, much funnier. It's not. That's your repressed, naughty humor, dog shit mentality. Watch Richard Pryor. Is he funnier, uncensored, or censored? Is it funny watching movies and sitcoms try to get around naughty situations? Or is it funnier watching something on HBO or when you rent it?
Right.
I'm so sick of that shit. That's
Oh,
part of
half
the
fun.
talent.
Half the fun was listening to him. No, it wasn't.
It's not.
It sucked. We
you know
hated
that?
it.
If it was half the fun for a few of you out there, it was none of the fun for us.
Yeah, you're repressed douches, and you should appreciate humor for what it is, and not, oh, that was almost naughty. Stop needing a built-in excuse for yourself to laugh at something, asshole.
You know how much great stuff just got dumped out that listeners never heard?
Absolutely.
Over the years when we were on commercial radio?
Dude, it's got to be 2 or 3 things I can remember.
You know what's great, though? As soon as someone trashes us, our pests, they are so aggressive now. They have taken over the world, basically. Because they have a whole network. And all it takes is, guys, O&A getting abused on New York Radio message board. Wham! And then everyone goes there and sticks up for us.
Yeah.
You know? Some dude, speaking of which, a pest, he wrote Starbucks. Where's the Starbucks email I asked for? Do we have that yet?
Where is it, Hawk?
Hawk, asked for it, and I don't see it.
It was supposed to be printed up for the show today. But basically, there's a whole thread on this New York Radio message board how this show is not as good as the regular show. And I strongly disagree. I think this show is so much better than what we were doing at WNEW.
And there's less tits and ass.
And a lot of people write why this show is better on the New York Radio message board in an intelligent way. And you know what? I appreciate those guys for sticking up for us.
Yeah.
Because it gets to be a pain in the ass. Every day you got to read something bad about the show or something. And we've been quite successful at this for many years now.
Part of the fun was watching them get around things. There's less nudity and sex on this show than there was on the old show.
Yeah.
Less strippers or any of that crap.
Less shocking.
There's more content. Occasionally profanity. We can play bits we couldn't play. There's more content on this show than on the other show, by far.
We could be more tasteless.
The Pest really bought billboards in Orlando?
Yep. No way.
Yeah, they're starting to buy billboards for us and stuff.
Yeah, they bought...
Where's the picture?
Wow. They're going to be set up, I think, beginning of next week.
And what's the billboard going to say? Hopefully something good.
It's tacking Jim Phillips with a big O&A ad right near his house and right near their radio station.
They still haven't given up on Jim Phillips?
Pretty funny.
Did they really buy that? Through Clear Channel Entertainment, yep.
Very nice.
Isn't that his company?
How do you not love these fucking psychopaths?
Oh, they're
these
lunatics.
pests.
And you know what? Certain people, and maybe I'm not saying anybody in marketing here. I'm just saying that some people, like in a company, would hear about their people being marketed by fans.
Yeah.
And they become ashamed and go, "Wow, we should do something," but have a feeling something. All right, good. That alleviates our responsibility.
Yeah.
I think if you have a creative mind, you can market anything without even spending money or very little money. Because the argument's always, well, you know, we only have so much money in the budget to promote your particular show. But I think if you're creative, I think you could do some wonderful things to get the word out for the show. We prove that on a daily basis with our Whip 'em Out Wednesday, the Assault on the Media contest, which is going very well for August.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that another day, I guess. But Lion Guy from Alabama is still in the lead. And the pests, of course, just attacking everything.
The greatest.
They're like locusts. They're just eating everything in their path at this point.
Kevin Howard from Yonkers says it all about the subject we were talking about. The listeners saying, we used to have to skirt around the issue and it was a lot better. He says 4 words: Pat O'Brien sex tapes.
Exactly.
There you go. There's a prime example. If you listen to any regular radio station play those Pat O'Brien tapes, it was painful. They played it because they felt compelled to play it, like they had to play it. It was such a big story. But you know anyone on regular radio was playing those going, this fucking sucks. Every other word's bleeped. It wasn't entertaining. It wasn't funny. They couldn't goof on it. They couldn't really get into the story, make jokes about what he's saying, because he couldn't say what he was saying. We had free reign.
It's not even close between the two shows.
And then basically,
I was explaining this to Ron and Fez because they're about to start on satellite radio on this channel. September 12th they debut, and I was explaining some things to them. It's like it's a pleasure to get into a subject.
Pleasure for me.
And just go until you know it's done. On commercial radio, you're always worried about fitting 15, 20 minutes of commercials in that you would stop yourself before you wanted to stop the bit because you just had no choice after a while. And to not have to worry about that when you sit in these chairs like we do, it's an amazing thing.
Right.
It is so much fun.
Now we can do a bit until everybody out there has dozed off.
Well, I don't think we run bits into the ground like we used to either.
But like Pat O'Brien sex tape, one of the things on commercial radio, you'd be saying things like, God almighty, he put a C in her A, and that would be the joke. The joke was the naughty little things you were saying, but now you realize that's a weak joke. Yeah, he put his cock in her ass, because we can say it. So your jokes have to be better. Believe it, you have to be, when you have no excuse that you couldn't say something, you better be fucking funny, or you're completely exposed. So that really annoys me, that bad argument. It's just a bad, if you don't think the show's funny, that's fine. But don't give that dog shit repressed argument.
Well, we fared pretty well in that argument on the message board. It was nice to see. It
was a spat.
Another pest got involved because we're trying to get a Starbucks machine here at the studio because we all drink Starbucks every morning. I personally spend, like $10 a morning on coffee.
Ooh. $10 every morning.
I'm not kidding. So it's
$50 a week.
Easily. And he's worse. Jimmy's probably worse.
I spend a lot more.
Buy Starbucks stock.
Huh?
I forgot. I've got to buy Starbucks stock. How is that stock not just going through the roof? Or is it? I haven't even checked.
They're brilliant, dude. They got
They have an addictive product.
They're brilliant.
That they're selling at huge prices.
They got the entire country addicted to coffee.
Yeah.
They're brilliant. They're brilliant. Before Starbucks, you first of all, if you were under 50, you weren't drinking coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, if you were, you had to get it from a deli, and the coffee was absolutely awful.
Stunk.
How the hell did someone have that vision where, you know what, we could get everyone from the age of 15 to 100 addicted to coffee?
Because they put the flavors in them, the whipped cream. There's something for even if you're not a big coffee drinker, you go there and get something sweet.
It's absolutely amazing. And every afternoon, the Starbucks in my neighborhood, and there's 4 within 2 or 3 blocks of us, Jimmy. There's a line practically out the door now, right around 2.
Every one of them, right.
2 o'clock is coffee time for everybody.
Hey, look at our buddy on CNN.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Bob Saget.
Bob Saget on CNN.
Let's take a peek.
That actually sustains a movie.
It's amazing that it sustains a movie because it's not a good joke.
A horrible joke.
And the whole purpose of the joke is
talking about
what
the
15-year-old boys would laugh about behind the schoolyard, which is here's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Much difference, Bob Saget.
Yes,
gentlemanly.
Then I heard it like 20 years ago. But supposedly
fingering
it was
his daughter.
Jack Benny told Gary Owens, who was in the movie. I found out at the premiere. It's just a very, it's a horrible joke, not one that we even want to share with anyone.
It's not funny at all.
Not funny at all. And so how did they do it and why did they do it? It's 100 comedians that are, And some people don't tell the joke. Robin Williams is in it, and Chris Rock. They don't tell the joke.
They tell the history of the joke. They tell around the joke. They
Right.
tell stories about the joke, but some people don't tell the joke.
Right, they improv around it. It takes 10 minutes. You saw the film. It takes 10 minutes to even get to the joke, which is fascinating.
George Carlin's the first one, right?
Yeah,
He tells the
he's
joke.
I guess he's the Yoda of the movie.
Right. But it seems like every single person who does the
Like when they
same
use the
old
same
joke,
lines
which
they
is
use
a
on our
stupid
show.
joke, and it's an old joke, and it's not a funny joke, everybody's personality comes right through.
I think the key to it, too, is it's about desperation in show business. How low will people go to make it in show business? Would the Aristocrats be booked on American Idol? You know, do their act, and then, you know, they all sit there and Simon goes, I don't really like it. You know?
If it's a long joke, you've really gone low.
You can supposedly tell this joke for a long time. I think when they filmed me, when Penn Jillette, the filmmaker, and Paul Provenza came with their 3 digital cameras, I think I did about 20 minutes or 25 minutes.
I think the record was 30, right? Don't they say in the movie the record almost 30?
I think Chevy Chase, they used to have Michael O'Donoghue, I believe, said did it the longest.
Well, Chevy's was the longest before a laugh showed up.
Right. I can never go back to family television again.
Yeah, I was going to say, so not your M.O. as far as we know.
She's a bore.
I'd like to kiss her right in the mouth. She's very pretty.
She's gorgeous, but she's a bore.
What were we just talking about before we put Bob Saget? I had a point. I wanted to
the
sorry,
Starbucks.
Jimmy.
Oh, no, that's okay. Starbucks.
But I want to say really fast to just finish with Bob Saget. I saw Bob Saget's cameo on Entourage. Holy crap, is it funny?
Good.
Entourage is just probably the best show out there right now.
Did a giant mammal just walk through the studio?
I don't know what happened.
A furry animal just come in here?
I told you to take that garbage and bury it.
We're going to be eating.
Jimmy, you have your food laying there. You're supposed to tie it up on the speakers so that the animals can't reach it.
You know what Steve was doing? He was foraging. He comes in, and his big Lebanese paws just clumsily knock things around the counter. then he walks back out, ashamed.
We all think he's our friend, but eventually he's going to eat us.
Yes.
And it's going to be in the middle of the show, and this is all we're going to leave behind is our last words on radio.
We'll be mauled.
Just like that.
And he'll end up in someone's pool in Jersey.
Just like that filmmaker. That movie's hitting, I think, today.
Oh, what an asshole this guy was.
What a dick.
Some guy made a documentary about this bear lover. Goddamn bear lover. Made a movie about a bear lover who was living amongst the bears.
He made his own film, Anthony.
Yeah, but then this documentarian kind of took
okay, I see what you're saying.
his video clips.
Yeah, basically this guy went out and decided to live with the bears, and he filmed himself living with the bears, and he thought the bears were his friends, and they weren't going to do anything.
He was so delusional. His whole thing was how they're gentle giants, and this is wonderful to live among them, and people don't understand the bears, and that's the problem. The fucking bears ate him. They ate him! How funny is that?
Is there footage of it?
Yeah, well, I don't know if they have the actual footage of him being...
Him and his girlfriend.
Him and his girlfriend were eaten by the bears, and they finally found them, well, what was left of them, and they found the camera, and they made a whole documentary.
He would go right up to the bears and go, look how close I am. Look how wonderful this is, how close I am to this beautiful... And the bear's like, Ramon. And he winds up getting eaten by the bear.
How great is that?
Because he forgot that they're fucking animals and you are food. That's it. They will eat you. You can't get... humans are so stupid. You think that there's this connection because you feed your dog and it licks your face. No, they will eat you.
You think right now somewhere there's 2 lobsters talking about a documentary that their one dumb lobster friend made? Like, I don't know, it was this guy, Arnie Morton, and he was hanging out, and one day he tapped Arnie Morton on the nose, and the next thing you know, he's having his stomach open with butter thrown on him. They're all laughing at him. Asshole! Never get out of the water.
Don't leave the water. Stay away from people.
All right, we'll get more into that in a few minutes, but first we got Eddie Griffin checking in. Eddie!
Hey!
How are you, buddy?
There he is. I'm good. What's happening?
I hear you got like 5 minutes with us. You're doing the radio tour today?
Yes, I am.
One station after another.
One station after another.
And you got to make believe you're friends with everybody, right?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So why should we go see Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo?
Because I'm in it.
Are you? Are you the funny part in the movie?
There's a whole lot of funny parts.
That's right. He's the guy. He's what are you, the pimp?
Yes, I'm pimping.
You're pimping, and you're pimping out Deuce?
Yes, of course. I have the man house.
Why'd you guys decide, or why'd they decide to make this one in Europe?
Let's see.
Because it worked well for vacation.
Was it like a vacation?
It was a vacation over in Amsterdam. Prostitution is legal.
They actually did it over in Amsterdam? You didn't just go to Canada?
No, we was in Amsterdam for 3 months.
Did you pay for any sex in the windows?
No, I don't buy. You know, if you can't do it with the gift of gab, then keep it moving.
Yeah, but it's something about Amsterdam, buying it over there, that seems kind of normal even for people that don't buy it over here, because it's almost like, going to Walmart or something.
Yeah, it's like a mannequin in a window.
Yeah, you see any of that shit?
That actually has some juice.
They actually have chicks just standing in windows, and when you walk by, they'll like wave. I've been to Rio 3 times. I'm
like
a
real
Brazil
hot.
fan. Yeah.
They're like real hot chicks, right?
I don't like Amsterdam as much, just because there's not as much AIDS. I like Rio, where you can just dive head first.
Eddie, what about the weed?
Yes, I partook in the coffee shops, yes.
Yeah, you just walk into a coffee shop and buy weed, right?
Yeah, you walk in, it's like candy. You know, it's like a little glass, and you got your chronic, you got your wine red hair, your purple haze.
And you just buy it, and are there any, you can't leave the place, though, or something?
Well, they say you can't leave the place, but people leave.
Yeah, it's like nothing. It's like don't leave with your coffee. And
come on, the police will walk up and light your joint for you over there.
Yeah, they don't care, right?
No, they don't care.
I met you years ago at the Comedy Store, and we were talking about Richard Pryor, and you said that are you doing something with the Richard Pryor story where you're playing Pryor, or you're involved with it somehow?
Yeah, we shot Pryor Convictions for Showtime.
Oh, really? Okay.
Wow, that's got to be a lot of pressure, playing Pryor.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of pressure.
So when is it being aired, or do you not know?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Did you hang out with him to try to?
I've known Richard for 15 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
We haven't seen him around lately. How's he doing?
Well, they showed him on TV. It was less.
You know, Richard's a fighter. You know.
Yeah, no, he's hanging in there. But the footage they showed recently,
MS is brutal, man.
Yeah, I didn't need to see that.
But is it mental too, or is it only physical? Like you just can't move?
It's physical. Not really talking that well.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to figure out what's going on mentally.
That's the torture. If like you're mentally, you're because he's so brilliant. If you are where you're supposed to be mentally, and then just to realize that you can't communicate what you want to say has got to be just fucking horrible for a comedian.
Yeah,
especially.
that's quite torturous.
You've done a long. You started touring with Dice, right? That was kind of how things really started rolling for you.
Eddie, did we get?
I'm gonna call him right back.
Oh, what happened? Who hung up on him?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened. I'm gonna call him and find out.
All right, who are you?
I'm the producer.
All right.
The producer.
The producer. That was Ben?
No. This guy's doing his job. This guy's actually working.
He's right on the ball.
Ben wouldn't have thought of calling him back. He would have just eaten his little cell phone. We disconnected. All right. Why don't you just highlight that stuff on the screen?
Oh, well. Anyway.
He's got a shitload of films under his
Someone was telling me, but they hung up, that they do have footage of the grizzly bear eating that guy, supposedly.
No way.
I'm going to say
Who's
no
filming?
way, too.
The bear?
Maybe they were making the guy was filming when something happened. And then the camera got knocked out.
I'm definitely going to go see that flick. But
God, his girlfriend, too.
But
I wonder who got eaten first. When, oh, shit, the bear's not as nice as we thought.
How about leaving while it's dining on your partner there?
I'm sure it's
Get up and
playing
go.
at my movie theater where they sell these smoked salmon sandwiches. So I'll go see it this
At
weekend.
a movie theater?
I told you about that. My movie theater sells smoked salmon sandwiches.
I saw a movie there with Steve, and they gave him bread. He went, "Argh!" He just knocked the bread on the floor. He was so insulted.
That's where I saw March of the Penguins and other movies, and I'll go see it and I'll give you a full review.
Give me a review.
By the way, just in case you're wondering, Bill Murray never finds his son. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I don't know what movie that is.
And a little advice to Bill Murray. Could you go back to just making us laugh really hard? Will you stop?
Groundhog
Will you
Day.
stop with this nonsense you've been filming lately? Life Aquatic. Could someone explain Life Aquatic to me, please?
I didn't see it.
Haven't seen it.
And not even.
I don't know what it does.
And don't do a radio bit. Someone call the goddamn radio show and tell me what Life Aquatic was all about.
Yeah.
Another Wes Anderson disaster. He develops great characters in his movies, but what the fuck is he trying to say?
What was the
And then Bill Murray's in this Broken
that was-
Flowers fucking movie. It's the slowest movie I've ever seen, and the reviewers are going nuts, thinking it's the greatest thing he's ever done.
And Lost in Translation?
All right, guys, here you go.
I like Lost in
It was
Translation.
boring.
I got to be honest, I like that.
Hello?
Yeah,
Eddie.
there he is.
Yeah, we got all these technology and...
You didn't like us, Eddie?
We were
You didn't-
disconnected.
We thought you didn't like us.
Oh, no. I didn't make the phone.
Oh, all right. So where were we at? We were talking about...
I was mentioning Eddie, I think, started... The whole thing kind of started for you touring with Dice, right?
Yeah, back in August of '89.
So you were doing the arenas.
Yeah, 20,000 seats up in Madison Square Garden.
How cool is that?
Black man in the house.
How cool is that when you're just facing all those people with your comedy?
That's like a good bag of weed.
Really? What goes through your brain? I mean, all of a sudden you're stepping out to that microphone, and I'm sure you did big rooms, but now you're out in front of 20,000 people. Are you shitting?
You know what goes through your brain?
Yeah.
I'm about to tear the roof off this mother.
There you go. That's what I like to hear.
Weren't you new in the business, too, though? You were kind of, like, young then.
I was 19 years old, so I was too young to have any kind of fear.
Right. Oh, yeah, okay.
And then what? Dice's crowd is pretty savage, though, when it comes to people being up on stage that aren't Dice.
Yes, indeed.
Did they give you some shit?
Not at all.
No?
Yeah, I heard he actually did really well consistently. Who'd you see eat their balls really badly? I know somebody had to just take it in the face horribly.
It was the opening guy, because I was meddling. Bill Chef.
Oh, Chef, yeah, he's like Letterman's writer.
Oh yeah, he's a pretty funny guy. I know.
Get up the ass on those tours.
The funniest thing I ever seen Bill do, he's supposed to do 15 minutes. He condensed it to 5 minutes, but didn't miss an inflection.
I've seen comedians do that, man. Because you give them a little dead air, and they're going to jump in there with some heckles or some booze and stuff.
He went 5 minutes flat, and then the guy went over there, and I said, "Whoa, you know what? That's how you do it."
How's Rob Schneider? Cool?
Oh yeah.
He didn't try to steal your chick or anything, did he?
No, come on, man.
Saw him do that one day to Hugh Hefner. He stole one of Hugh's Playboy chicks.
One of those 8 chicks that he was dating, or 7 chicks, yeah.
Some award thing we were doing. I don't even know what it was, but we were at the after party, and Rob Schneider's coming down the stairs with this hammered Playboy chick, and we found out later she got fired the next day for leaving with Rob Schneider.
Dude, you know how great that is that a comedian stole some pussy from Hugh Hefner?
I know. I thought it was huge.
But now he's got to have a lifetime ban, man.
Oh, is he banned from the Playboy Mansion?
He's got to be banned from the mansion.
Yeah, I think Hef was pretty pissed.
You can't mess with Hef's pussy.
Hef is fucking 80. Who cares? How many more parties are there going to be? 3 more. He'll fall down the steps sooner or later. Fuck him.
Eddie, you know that the movie's getting a lot of bad reviews. We're trying to be cool here, but I mean, when you read some of these reviews, what do you think?
I haven't read any.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's break.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to kill the guy, but I mean, the New York papers are not being kind to this movie.
Oh, well, what do you expect?
Yeah, well, we got a couple. Definitely not art, but it's quite funny for a sequel.
Yeah.
And then we got Call Me Immoral, Call Me Insensitive, Call Me Lewd, but I laughed.
Uh-huh.
So there's and that's 2 of them. I'll leave the rest alone.
Well, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Not trying to, it wasn't like they were putting together, you know, Oscar contender.
No. Hey, you know what? That is a good point. There are a lot of movies out there that the critics bashed and I ended up liking, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Used Cars didn't get good reviews when it was in the theaters, but it's one of the fucking funniest movies ever.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm sure it's going to be better than Broken Flowers by the new freaking Bill Murray movie.
Why did you see that?
Dude, how many films have you done? You've done like 3 movies since then, haven't you?
Yeah.
Jesus
Irish
Christ.
Jam, let's see, I did Prior Convictions, Irish Jam, all these back to back to back.
It's like after Deuce Bigelow's number 4 on the filmography, and there's 3 above it. It's like, how much do you work? I did 1 line in Spider-Man, and I'm still waiting for like my fucking phone to ring. Got nothing going on.
Got a good agent,
I'm
I
just
guess.
working, man.
I hear you, Eddie. I hear you.
All right, man.
Well, we are big fans of your work.
Here, we got to let you go.
We think you're a very funny guy. Good luck with the Deuce Bigelow and the Richard Pryor and everything else you you do there.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
All right.
Take care, man.
There he goes, Eddie Griffin. The new movie opens nationwide today. Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo. All right.
Yeah, I guess when you make a movie that gets panned like that, what are you going to do?
Right.
It's some people find it funny.
We got to get Howie Mandel in here. Let's say hi to Brian in Virginia. Brian.
Yeah, hey guys.
Hey.
I barely fucking hear you. So.
All right.
Listen, just wanted to say first of all, my wife got me XM for Christmas, and I'm going to be honest with you. I was just going to hang on to it until Howard went over to Sirius.
Yeah.
But you guys got me fucking hooked, so I told her, don't worry about wasting money for Christmas. Get me serious. I'm sticking with you guys.
Oh, thank you, Brian. I appreciate it.
Got the virus, especially because I live here in Virginia, and I got to listen. We got fucking douchebag Don Geronimo on. So.
Well, leave the guy alone. He's had a tough month.
Yeah, it's a shitty.
Yeah, I understand that. I swear to God, I was going to call in and bust his balls, but I guess you got to
don't do that,
have
man.
some sympathy somewhere.
All right, let me explain what's going on. Howie Mandel just walked into the studio, but we're in the middle of a subject, so maybe Howie could jump in, and then we'll get to what you're up to as well, okay?
I'd love to jump in.
All right, Brian, you're going to explain Life Aquatic?
Well, you know what, I was going to try to, but you kind of closed on a note that I just to tie it in with Eddie's movie there that just came out. I think people got to remember sometimes that you're there first to be entertained with the movie. Life Aquatic, to put it in that, sum it up like this: they're trying to goof on Jacques Cousteau's life.
Well, I get that.
Right. Now, other than that, it's kind of like Napoleon Dynamite. I know people that saw that and said, I don't get what they're doing.
Love
it's just a bunch of losers. And
Yeah.
I'd say if you like Napoleon Dynamite, you're going to like Life Aquatic.
Yeah, maybe I should rent that again and give it another shot. I don't know. I thought the character development was great. I thought the characters were very original and stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're trying to split the atom. I don't think there's some deep underlying spiritual meaning to Life Aquatic. I think it's just supposed to be a goof with these characters who are obviously all losers, or most of them are anyway.
Right.
And that's kind of like Napoleon Dynamite, Big Lebowski, same thing. You're just watching a bunch of losers go through a mission.
Right. All right.
All right, man. Punch it out. Take care, guys.
Thank you. One more here. Eric in California. Go ahead, Eric.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
Hey, man, I just want to let you know with Life Aquatic, it's just supposed to be one of those movies where you're like, what the fuck? What the hell's going on? Where it changes around, everything's all like bizarre. But seriously, man, you're always saying that shit sucks, and it's bumming me out. Like you were talking about how Fred and Deep Tracks are just awful stations.
Yeah.
Because they go too far, right?
Yeah, well, that's just my taste. That's all. I don't want you. You don't have to agree with what I say. I'm just.
So the Life Aquatic, the purpose was to say what the fuck's going on. That's what they were going for. That's what you got out of it.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy? Hey.
Hey, it's Howie. You.
Dude, it's just a weird movie. It's just a weird movie where
I know, but you're right. A lot of people don't go. I've been involved in some films, and I never thought of that, to go for the audience saying, what the fuck is this?
Well, that's what I was thinking when I saw
Fuck am I doing it?
But I watched it over and over again.
Right, you got to watch it over again so you can keep saying, what the fuck did I watch it the second time for?
Well, I also think
3 fucking times I watched this fucking piece of shit. I don't know what the fuck this is. A lot of people don't go. That's a niche, and he's right. You're right, and I love that about it.
Hey, but man, as for the Deep Tracks and the Fred, like, isn't that the whole point of satellite radio, is to go beyond what commercial radio is doing? Like, of course, it's great that they're playing crazy.
Yes, it is. Relax.
Get a hold of yourself, would you?
Yeah, I mean, Eric, you got to understand this show. We spew our nonsense. You don't have to agree with it. We're just giving our opinions and stuff. I personally don't like Deep Tracks or Fred because I think they go too deep. And I think if you bring it in a little bit and play some more familiar stuff, I would be happier.
He's kind of missed the point. I think the point of this particular show is for you to listen to it and think, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, exactly.
That is pretty much it.
I got to tell you, Howie.
Is this for me?
No, that's just in case somebody
I
cuts
have one. That's if Jimmy, which he does, he gets nervous.
Sometimes you cut a gas or
you got to
slips out.
loose, and you got to spray because he's
Cans of Lysol.
Yeah.
Cans of Lysol and disinfecting wipes. I don't know if you know.
That's what we're going to get into.
We got the hand thing.
I hear you have some issues. Anthony definitely has some issues.
I don't have issues. I get skeeved out sometimes.
I have some OCD in my family, so I guess I have some issues myself.
I've been pinned with having what they call issues. What is it if I don't want to shake someone's hand after they come out of the bathroom? That's not an issue. That's kind of gross.
I love it. I love the whole. I wish I was the whole Asian thing. I wish would take over the planet. I want to bow.
You just want to put your hands
together and bow. There's no reason to touch
What's with the touching?
I don't like touching.
I hate touching.
I won't touch anyone.
I don't like when people take pictures and they're like, "Hey, dude," and they get close. Like, stay away.
I have no reason to touch anyone.
No touching.
You got to see the shot I took. How does it matter? I remember we did Tough Crowd together, and this is the picture he and I have together, standing.
Arms behind your back. That's good. That's one
of my favorite shots.
Don't touch.
Yeah, both of us just standing there with our arms behind our back, staring.
Very awkward photo. You guys.
It's a picture.
Well, we're close. We're close, yet we're not touching.
Right.
Yes.
And is anyone going to believe that you're buddies enough
with Robert De Niro, if you get a picture with him, that he's going to put his arm around you, and that's how you walk down the street because you're taking a picture and he's got his arm around you? No need to. You just need him in the frame.
I always joke and say, it's time for us to make believe we are friends, and then they take.
Yeah, but
the
even
photo.
friends, when have you assumed there's no camera around?
I know what you're going to say. I've known Anthony for 10 years. Never a hug.
Not even a hug. You know the pose where you stand beside somebody and you put your arm around them and you face the camera? When, aside from when there's a camera, have you ever just stood like that with Anthony?
Your best friend, you would never do that.
The only time just put your arm around me, let's just stand here and just enjoy the moment. It never happens. It's a stupid picture. Everybody's got that picture.
You're absolutely right.
At a urinal, it's acceptable. That's the only time. Your friend's there having trouble, maybe prostate problems, you put your arm around him, you walk him through it. That's the only time it's allowed to be done.
You've walked your friend through a prostate problem.
Absolutely. You just stand there with your arm around him, two men talking, getting to know each other, a little medical help. No problems.
Howie,
go ahead.
Can you explain what's going on with you? You got like the OCD or what?
I have OCD.
You do.
And germs is just one part of it. But
you're freaked out by germs?
No, I have OCD. Do you know what OCD is?
Yeah, my mom has it really bad.
Actually. I have it pretty bad. OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder. So you get a thought in your head, weird thoughts in your head, and it doesn't go away. Oh. And one of the thoughts, like if I shake hands, I haven't shaken anybody's hand for a couple of years.
A couple of years?
A couple of times, I'll do it. Or the other day, somebody grabbed my hand and I'll do it, and I actually ended up being okay. But sometimes I don't know if I'll end up okay. And then for the rest of the day, I have images of shit on my hands, and I'll go in, I'll scald my hand, and then I come out back to wherever I was, and then I can't even hear people talking. I'm focused on my hand. Even though I washed, and I know logically that I got the hand clean, and then I'm focused on my hand. I go back in, and I scald it again, and I come out. I'll wash my hands up to like 30, 40 times after somebody.
Oh man!
Yeah, and my hotel room is like nuts. With I'm here in New York, and I'm staying in the hotel room, and it takes me about 2.5 hours to prepare my room so that I'm comfortable. I make paths with the towels.
That's what we've heard.
Yeah, I order a lot of towels, and I'll make paths so I don't have to touch the carpet to all the different places I know that I'm going to go, and I remove the
What makes the carpet between the towels better than the carpet outside the towels? Like, I can understand if you just built the house, brand new, you could know that was clean, but I mean, if you're in a hotel, the carpet between the towels is probably just as bad as the carpet outside the towel.
I don't know. The carpet's not. Did they shampoo the room as each person leaves?
No,
he doesn't touch the carpet.
I don't touch the carpet.
Oh no! I thought you were leading out a path. You actually stand on the towels.
Yeah,
all right, that makes sense.
Now that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
See, so I've got towel paths wherever I go.
Okay.
You and I seem to
I like
simpatico.
But why are the towels okay?
Because they're clean. They're like white.
They're
bleached.
Hot water.
Bleached. I'm okay. I don't know. Don't give me
another. Hey, did you really?
Don't make him think about this shit anymore than he has to.
Someone said you shaved your head because you were uncomfortable with.
I actually shaved my head originally for a film, and then I realized this feels like cleaner. It feels clean, so I keep it shaved now because anything to feel cleaner and not infested with whatever you could possibly be infested with.
Now, have you obviously people say, well, the compulsive hand washing is like deep-seated, like trying to get rid of problems. I mean, I'm sure you've heard all that stuff a million times. Do you ever go to?
I'm in therapy.
Oh, you are in therapy,
and I'm supposed to be medicated. I don't take the medication.
Oh, really?
No.
My mom has tried it all. It is a nightmare on earth, man.
What's her thing?
It's bad. She has thoughts that she's killing people, and she's convinced she's killing people, and she'll see a story in the paper, and she wants to go down to the police station and turn herself in. I mean, it's brutal stuff. But like you said, she knows it's dumb. She knows she's not crazy, but she can't get the actual thought out of her head.
It's like you have a CD that skips. You get this. I think everybody has these weird, bizarre thoughts going through their heads. You see a story, you see something horrible, a horrible thought, a crazy thought, and it just goes by and nobody thinks about it. And what happens is our minds get stuck on that thought, and it keeps repeating and repeating and repeating. And it's I make fun of it, but it's pretty horrible a lot of the time.
Sure. How many times you got to lock the door and stuff before you leave?
I've done it up to maybe 20 times. I've gone into my car and I go, oh, I didn't lock the door, and I go back up to the apartment and I'll check the door and shake the handle and it's locked. I go back to the car and then I go, oh, I probably didn't shake it enough, and I go back to the car and I shake it again.
But you're down at the car and you absolutely know it's going to be locked when you go up.
I have shaken the door handle, then punch the door handle so I'll feel the pain in my hand so that when I go down to the door, I go, I know that I shook it and punched it so I'll feel the pain, but maybe I knocked it loose. So I'll go back up and I'll do it again, and you can't get that.
Are you just late to everything?
It doesn't always happen.
No, I
It's
get
sporadic.
that one every once in a while. Usually when I'm tired, I'll have to keep coming back to my apartment. Like, all right, it's locked. Okay, and then I'll walk down the end of the block and go, well, exactly how you just explained it.
You know, so it's not a fun thing, but I deal with it, and I'm able to function. But I thought you guys put out all this.
For you?
No,
it's because he farts through the whole show.
He farts.
I hope you have no problems with farting, because if you do, you might as well leave right now.
Well, I do, but it's not an issue.
And
it's like
this
not
stuff
a
is
Purell. I'm not allowed to use anymore.
Why?
You know what happened? I did in 1998. I got a daytime talk show. Paramount gave me a daytime talk show. And they sat down. They sat down with me and said, I said, the only thing that I really have an issue with, and they said, we can't have you focus on the whole germ thing, and, guests come on, they want to shake hands, and they want to, so you got to shake their hands. And I go, okay, because, this is the daytime audience, the ladies are home during the day, and
they like a good handshake.
Yeah, and you can't, you can't just talk about how fucked up you are, and so I said, okay, I'll do it, and you got to wear a suit, and you got to shave, and you got to take out the earrings, and you got to look like, I guess, Maury Povich.
Right.
They wanted a Maury Povich. So I went on, but I called my friend who's a surgeon, and I was using Purell like crazy. My hands are totally soaked in Purell all the time. My friend's a surgeon. I said, what's that stuff before you go into the OR? I see you guys scrubbing that, like, you scrub, and he got me. I got cases of that stuff. So before every show, I would scrub up on my hands, and then behind my desk I had Purell, and then I would shake everybody's hand, and I had Purell, and then I would scrub after the show, and I had this thing. And the show lasted for about 8 months. I also don't open doors. I do, I push it with the side of my hand. I'll push. I don't use doorknobs, and I find different ways. And I found, like, wherever I was pushing the doors, I started getting. I got these warts. And that just blew my. I didn't know what it was, and I go to the dermatologist, and he goes, "You got warts," and I go, "How would I get?"
How the hell?
Well, here's what happened. I killed all the antibodies in my hands, so I was getting warts are just viruses. So I would start getting viruses in my hands because my hands were so antiseptic.
You killed all the good stuff that's in there.
Yes, you spoke.
The bad
I
stuff.
killed everything. So I'm not allowed to use. I don't use Purell. I don't use. And if you went, I don't want you to, but if you saw me in a public restroom, it's like fucking Cirque du Soleil. I can do things with my feet, and I could twist things, and I can contort so that I would rather explode than go into a public restroom. But I when I get there, I can do things without using hands.
People have goofed on me in the public restroom because I use the bathroom, and then I'll wash my hands, and I'll use the paper towel, but then I'll use the paper towel to open the door with, and then hold the door at my foot and throw the paper towel into the garbage, so I haven't touched anything after my hands.
There's actually a logical reason. They've done studies. They do find, like, flecks of shit on them. I mean, that's not lunacy in a public restroom to not want to touch
Who
something.
found flecks of shit?
They've done studies on, like, doorknobs. They've actually done
not even
them.
doorknobs. They say in the restaurants, in the mints.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Urine.
Yeah, they found little, just microscopic. So that's not completely crazy.
We're over at the Parker Meridian, and we're having lunch, and I have to use the bathroom. Now, you need a key.
I won't use it there because the key. You need the restaurant key.
Right. So we got the key. Now, she gives me the key, and I go to the bathroom, and everything's fine, and then I realize, wait a minute, this key is being held by people who don't wash their hands when they go to the bathroom.
I don't even think that.
See, I was at the Parker Meridian, and I went across the street to the Starbucks, and I pissed at Starbucks.
No, see, but you know what I did?
What?
I then took my hands and the key and the soap and washed everything.
You
I
washed
washed
the
my
key
hands and the key. And then I rinsed everything off, dried it. So now I'm carrying back a key that's been washed and gave it back.
I fucking took the key and I scooped it into my oatmeal and I ate off it. Who fucking cares?
I'm the same. Same way as
What are you
Jim
gonna catch
on
a
that
cold?
one.
Big deal. I haven't worn condoms since 1988. Who gives a shit?
Don't make Howie leave.
No,
like
no,
him.
I love Howie.
We're
it's
off
not
to a really good start.
I don't like bathroom
I understand
stuff.
the mentality, but it doesn't work that way for me. For that.
See, I'm not as far as you have gone, but I don't like the bathroom stuff.
You're not as far. You washed the fucking key.
I washed the key.
See,
It was dirty.
Even Howie thinks you're.
But I gave the key back, and I never gave it a second thought, Howie.
That is true, you key washing motherfucker.
We got to get into what Jimmy does on the side, because that has to just would freak Howie out.
Oh, just the disgusting sexual practice.
I don't even know how we go down this road.
Go down it.
It would just
You
be
let
a very
people,
interesting.
What do you do?
Let's attractive women after he puts plastic down on his bathroom floor, squat over him and piss on him.
I've been tinkled. Piss is antiseptic, though.
Howie.
What
would that do to you? You think?
You know what's funny? You let some strange chick piss all over you, but you put plastic down on the floor because God forbid some should get on the tile.
Yeah,
I realize it's silly.
I'm a neat freak.
He's very
piss
proud
on
of
me, but don't mess up my fucking tile.
And then we had a stripper come in, or dance, or whatever the fuck
she was sexy, man.
She came in. She had spit on the window here and licked it, and I was just completely skeeved
I
out.
was
It was
skeeved
turning
on that
Jimmy
one.
on.
Yeah.
She comes in, and they start talking about spit, and Jimmy asked her to spit in his mouth. And he opened his mouth, she leaned over him, and spit in his mouth, much to everyone's disgust.
Oh, it was hot, man.
It was not hot. It was disgusting.
It's a kiss.
It is not a kiss.
It is a kiss.
It
It's
is
a saliva
not.
transfer.
It's not a
without that annoying intimacy horseshit. Who wants eye contact? Just
How do you
spit
deal
in my
with
mouth and beat it.
intimacy?
I'm intimate with myself.
Yeah, well, that's always good.
Yeah, and because I know where I've been.
Right.
But I've been with the same girl for almost 30 years now.
Wow.
Who I've have hermetically sealed. And she's, my wife, but she knows the ritual. She knows she cleans up, and then I said, "Are you clean? I'm coming in."
Does the family ever resent it? Like, because it's ritualistic stuff. It's like, and did they ever just go, "Fucking enough"? Like, do they ever resent having to do things a certain way?
Because I have children, I've always maintained that Dad's sick. And don't be like that. So, I know that for their health reasons and because I'm a responsible parent, that don't. Yeah. But my wife gets mad at me sometimes because when my son was, I'll tell you, I've had like horrible potty training stories. I had one with my daughter.
Man.
My daughter, when my first daughter, my daughter's like 21 now, but when she was young, I guess how old are you when you're potty training? You're almost two years old.
Depends on the chromosomes.
Right. But she's my wife was really into the potty training, and read all the books, and you have to, after she pees or shits in the we all had to applaud, and everybody who's around, it's a big deal. She's just about potty training, and my wife says, I was going out one day, and she says, you take her with you. So I have this baby in the car seat, and she's just a little girl, a little baby, and we're out someplace, and she says to me, Dad, I have to go potty. And my heart, I get heart palpitations.
Oh,
I'm thinking I can't go in a public restroom. I can't sit her down. And where am I going to take her? I can't go in the men's room, and I don't want her to sit down. I can't go in the ladies' room. I don't want her to sit down in the men's room. So I said, honey, can you hold it? Is there any way to hold it? And she goes, it's a baby. Yeah, yes. She goes, I'll try, Daddy, because she could see the horror in my eyes. She goes, I'll try, Dad. So I put her in the car, and I put her in the car seat, and we're driving down the Ventura Freeway. I live in Los Angeles. We're driving down the Ventura Freeway, and she goes, from the back seat, I hear, Daddy, I can't hold it. I go, okay, honey, we'll pull off here, and we'll go to the gas station or something. She goes, no, I can't hold it. I go, okay, fine. So we pull over to the side of the freeway, side of the Ventura Freeway, this public freeway, and I pull out, and there's like hedges on the side of the freeway there. So I get her out, I unbuckle her from the car seat, and I put her in my arm, and I go over to the hedges, and I take one step over the hedges, and I don't realize it's a gully, it's a ravine.
Oh, my God.
So I step, and I slip on my back, I fall on my back, and I start hurtling down this mountain, down the side of the Ventura Freeway, and I'm holding the baby, I'm coddling her on my side, she's screaming, I'm yelling, the twigs are breaking, there's mud, my pants rip, it cuts my ass, and I end up at the bottom of this gully in this horrible, infested kind of wet puddle, and I'm bleeding, and I'm in this gully, and I'm holding the baby, and she's crying, and I kind of stand up, and I hold her in front of me, and she goes, I gotta go, I gotta pee. I go, okay, all right, and I look, my wife had put her in some sort of like a jumpsuit kind of thing, so I unbuckle the thing, and I pull it down around her ankles, and I'm holding her up by the armpits in front of me, and I go, okay, honey, go, and she goes, I can't, I'm gonna pee on my pants. I'm going to pee because her legs are down below. And this is the first daughter. I've never really, I grew up with brothers and everything. I said, okay, all right, just put your feet up on my shoulders, up on my neck. I'm holding her in front of me, like face to face. Put your feet up on my neck, and then I figure, your legs are out toward me, and then you'll pee down into this.
If the cops saw this, you'd be shot, by the way.
Right. So her feet are up on my neck, and I go, okay, go. Well, I didn't know that. It seems like with the vagina that whatever way your feet are aiming is what way the fluid goes. So she goes, and then all of a sudden it's in my face. She's pissing in my face, my fucking mouth. In my mouth. I'm screaming like a woman, like my ass is bleeding. I'm standing in a puddle of this is for a guy who didn't want to go into a public bathroom.
Right.
And I start to scream, and she's screaming, and it's all over her clothes. And she goes, I got it on my clothes. Her fucking clothes, it's in my fucking mouth. So I'm trying to be a good dad, and I take off the bottom of her pants, and now she's naked, and my hands are covered in the mud and the blood. So now it's all over her, and I'm filled with piss. She's filled with piss, and I try to climb the hill. Now I'm climbing the hill, and it's mud, and I get up like five steps, and then I slide back down the hill, and she's crying, and I'm almost crying, and I can't breathe, and my heart, I think I'm going to have a heart attack. Finally, after it seems like an eternity, I get up on the freeway, and I come through the hedges like 500 feet from where my car is, and I'm standing there, and I'm bleeding, and I'm covered in mud, and she's crying, and there's piss, and there's blood, and a car slows down, and then I got a naked little girl out of the hedges, and the car slows down, and pulls down his window and goes, Are you Howie Mandel? And I said, no, get the fuck out of here. No. And we get into the car. My wife was waiting. My wife has never let me I don't really take the kids out anymore.
No, I wouldn't let you either. That's
what
a horrific story.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
That is horrid.
Welcome to my life.
Wow.
Yeah. So
do you ever feel guilty over it, like the fact that the family has to kind of do stuff? Because like sometimes you have like those moments where you're like, Jesus Christ, man, my obsession is causing other people's lives to be shifted.
Yeah, my son, the first time he has to go to the men's room alone, and I think he was like 4 or 5, and he came out, and it was in the middle of a California Pizza Kitchen, which is this chain out there. He walks out, and it's packed, and he goes, I went by myself, and I didn't touch anything. And my wife just turned to me and went, fuck you. Look at the fuck you started, and so, but I work as hard as I do on trying to keep myself germ-free. I work on telling them that this is not the way to live.
How old were you when it kicked in, or was it your whole life?
You know what? I didn't realize it was my whole life. I have a younger brother who, when I was 7 years old, a lot of brothers fought physically. He would just hold the lid to the laundry hamper, and it would scare me, and everybody thought it was kind of funny and weird, and I would always wrap up my own laundry, and I had my own little rituals and counting things and doing things, but nobody knew what it was then. I've been around for a long time.
So why not the medication before we move on?
Because after all these stories, life is great.
Right.
No, actually, my life is great. I have a functioning relationship with 3 kids. I'm working, and I don't want it to take the edge off of whatever, until I feel that I can't function or the people around me are really being inhibited by what I do, then I will.
Do you notice it getting better or worse or staying the same?
Oh, it goes in ebbs and flows. There's sometimes when and probably you'll notice that with your mother, there are times when it's just not bad and you wouldn't know, and I don't know if stress brings it on. I don't know what brings it on. They're starting to connect it to, there's a study in California that connects it to strep. I had a lot of ear infections when I was a little baby, and they're saying that strep, that whatever that virus is, because it's physiological. It's supposed to be a physiological problem. I think it's like some sort of chemical problem. So,
chemical imbalance.
Wow.
The ability to not let a thought go. Whatever.
Well,
it is.
whatever. Some days my mom is completely normal. It's like, and then she goes back to just.
The scariest thing about it is when
out.
you have those freakouts, and it would be better if you didn't know that what you're thinking is psycho. But you're so aware and cognizant that what you're thinking is psycho.
Yeah.
Which makes you even more psycho. You go, I know this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
isn't it amazing that somebody who's a comic, now it's your job to get up on stage and make people laugh, and nobody's the wiser. And it's got to be difficult in some situations to get up there and be funny when you're just either horrified or freaking out or whatever.
It is. But also, I'm doing a new show. I'm doing a new show on, and this is not a segue to promote.
Oh, it's okay. We can move on anyway.
No, not moving on. What I'm saying is I got the show on Bravo. I do these hidden camera pieces, and that's what I'm doing, and premieres August 18th.
Very good.
At 11 o'clock on Bravo. But a big part of it, it's a half reality and half. A big part of it is I decided to do my real life. So a big part of it is showing the OCD and my germ phobias and all that. And what I found, and the fact that I talk about it publicly, when I go out to people who have listened to this show, they'll walk out and they go, "Hey, Howie, how you doing? I heard you on the radio today. I'm not going to shake your hand."
Yeah.
It just makes my life easier, and it makes my world easier if I do it on television, if I talk about it on the radio. It's kind of...
Yeah.
I used to not
they'll
talk
understand,
about it.
and they won't think you're just a dick, because you're not shaking
Right.
their
Most
hand.
people are angry.
Now,
I used to go out. I used to go out and bandage.
We do fists.
That's what I do.
We
Fist
do a
is
quick
fine.
little
You
fist.
did- yeah, that's how I came into that. That's how I came in. I'll do the fist.
Right.
Yeah. But I used to, before I came to that, I put a Band-Aid. I would put a Band-Aid on my hand, and they'd extend their hand to shake it, and then I'd go, look, I got a Band-Aid. And then, so then then they'd extend the other hand. All of a sudden, everybody's into like a left-handed.
I don't do left-handed shakes.
Right, but I couldn't. So then what I did is I put a Band-Aid on the right hand. I put a Band-Aid on the left hand.
Bizarre clapping
Then
accident.
they go, what happened? Then you had to come up with then I had a sling. Then I had 2 slings. Then I had it's just
You're giving
bizarre,
Anthony ideas here.
I love this.
But now I just go OCD. But it's still the thing with the fist. I do the fist.
Yeah.
And some people they don't know what to do. Like I'll extend it. Just do this, and then people will just grab your fist.
Is that why you have rings on the end too, just to kind of keep the thing? You would probably want to use 4 rings just to stop the things from touching. Maybe
you're right. I didn't think of that.
Now
I
the
did
rings
this
are big rings over there.
Yeah, I got
Kinda
rings.
Keeps
it away from my flesh. But
Yeah.
people don't know what to do with the fist. And then you'll do it to like a black guy will come up to you and I'll give the fist, and then they think I got to tell them it's not like a BET thing, it's an OCD thing. It's not
because then they want to grab hands.
They
at
think
the
I'm
end.
just trying to be when you extend the fist. Sometimes they think you're trying to be like hip or and you got the whole.
Then you got a whole thing you got to do.
Yeah, they touch the end of the fist and they bop you on the top
All
of the
of a sudden
fist.
you're doing Inca Binka bottle of ink. The cork fell out. And
Ping pong fooey.
How do you remember that?
No. What?
The inky binky
Inca
thing.
Binka bottle of ink, the cork fell out and you stink, not because you're dirty, not because you're clean, just because you kissed the girl behind the magazine stand. And you are not it. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a
fella.
We know how that one goes.
Catch a fella. Hey, now let me ask, Jessica Simpson comes up to you right now and says, I have to blow you.
Oh.
I know you're married, you wouldn't do it, but I'm talking
Right.
OCD
No, right. OCD
I have to blow you.
Where does shaking hands come into that?
No, but
No, but I have no problem with that.
All right, let's seal the deal with a shake.
Don't shake his hand.
Then I can't. Then I can't hate that.
Look,
I can't have a
anyone can
blowjob.
suck my cock. That's fine, but get off my hands. That's great.
Well, what about
It's true. That's where my issue is. It's just my hands.
What about him and pussy going down?
What
but
about
again, it's fine with you with the same girl for 30 years, though. It's like if you
we're not. I don't want to bring his wife into this.
No, but I'm saying, would it bother you if it was somebody you didn't know to give head a woman?
If you were
didn't
single
know?
right now and a girl wanted you to go down on her,
right?
What would go through your mind?
I don't know. It's a good thought, though. I don't know. My issue is my hands. I don't know why. I don't know why I have that. It doesn't make any sense to me. But my issue
is mostly the hands.
Would you go down on her if you met her when she walked out of a Port Authority bathroom and she had paper trailing from the back of her pants?
That wouldn't be if she had walked out of your place. I would be more because I know she had just pissed all over you.
I've seen Howie on Regis many times, and I don't see Regis asking these questions.
No, this is a lot different.
It's a lot different.
Why are you washing your hands so much?
Angry Regis.
I like this. This is a lot. No, I have no issues with. I have no issues with any other. I have other issues besides shaking hands, but not with germs.
You afraid as a comedian of the medication kind of affecting the brain, right?
Creative.
Yeah, he makes a great point with losing the edge. That's very interesting.
Because you see people who are like on whether it's Paxil or whatever they're on, these guys in the business, they always get that white shit in the corner of their mouth, and they're just so neutral about everything, and they really are, man. They have no anger and no happiness. They're just kind of talking like that.
You got to wonder, how's
awful.
that better?
Leveled out.
Absolutely.
But when you hear all the side effects of every kind of medication, you wonder why it's better for these people.
I guess for some people it is better because if you can't deal with it in your own mind, what's the alternative?
I'm
Being
neurotic. Are they talking about
state?
me? Are they talking? No. Some guy came in and told another guy a secret.
Really?
I was funny. I watched how he looked too. He looked to the right. No, they just do that because we're on air.
Because they are assholes.
Oh.
What was the secret you told them?
What was the secret?
What did you say?
Well, we're just setting up something. We're going to bring in someone that's very sick, and they're going to just start coughing all over the place. And we want to see. No, it's all right.
Are you a crazy person, Opie?
No, he do it all the time. He'll come in. He stays on that computer, and he'll come in and
Howie,
talk to
it's
him.
totally cool. We're just messing with you.
It's nothing.
All of a sudden, a guy comes in.
Stop bothering Mr.
coughing
Mandel, you
and
fucking
sneezing.
creep.
Right. I saw the Aristocrats.
Yes.
You're in there, and you shocked me with the C word. You were the
well,
one.
there are two words.
That's what I love about this movie, and I can't believe I'm just saying the C word because we're on satellite.
No, but there are two words. The two words that the female, that any woman hates most are number one, the C word, and number two, cunt. Right?
Yeah, those are them.
Yes, I think those are them. I think that's the end of the list.
That's what I love about The Aristocrats. I think it's a great movie and getting rave reviews, so they don't need my help. But all you guys going and just showing a little bit of yourselves in this
I think
movie.
on the DVD they're going to show the whole. You know, I think they sat with each one of us for over an hour and we told it, and they decided. I guess my little portion and was I said cunt a lot.
Yeah.
I heard there were certain comedians that wouldn't curse, and I guess, look, you got to be true to what you do, but then there's a certain thing, it's like, there's got to be a certain camaraderie as comics where it's like, yes, we're telling a dirty joke. I don't care if you're Cosby or you know, Rita Rudner. It's like everyone has reveled in a dirty joke, and that's like what this is, I think part of it's about, and there's certain comics
there were
that
people
wouldn't do that.
that wouldn't do it in the Aristocrats? Everybody
I
is
heard
filthy.
I heard that Jon Stewart wasn't that dirty, or I heard, what's her name?
Rita Rudner.
Rita Rudner wasn't dirty. I heard a couple of them weren't.
I think they were as dirty as they are, you know. I think that Jon Stewart was actually pretty funny in it.
Someone said he wouldn't do it. He wasn't that dirty. He was kind of like careful. I
in
haven't
it.
seen it.
Well,
No, honestly, and I'm a fan of Jon Stewart. It seemed like he was very safe with his presentation.
But you don't know. You know, the point is you don't know how long that's what was edited in. So you don't know. You don't know where it got to. And I thought what he did was really funny.
Well, he used to do our show,
yes.
and he was a lot different than what he's doing now. Is all I'm saying. So
John's got a certain image. He's got to uphold.
That's
these
what
days.
That's what we're sort of.
It's
thinking.
almost
He's
like
on the
that
cover of
Daily
Newsweek.
Show. Yeah, it's almost like that Daily Show has become a real news show. It was a complete parody of the news, and now they're saying a lot of people are getting their news from it. It's actually throwing a lot more facts out there than jokes about news.
Right.
To keep it funny and entertaining, but you know, I think he's also got. He's kind of getting into that image of almost an anchorman.
Al Franken wants to.
No, but you know, but also you have to also look at, if you're talking about the Aristocrats, you have to look at, you know, they came to us, you know, either Paul Provenza or Penn Jillette would call and say, you know the joke, and you guys know the joke, the Aristocrats joke. So it's just about being filthy. And we're going to talk about the joke. You can do the joke. You can do any twist you want on the joke, and we'd love you to be part of this. And they would come to wherever it was most convenient to you. If you look, most of the people were in their private offices. They were in their
houses.
They were in their houses. You know, and it was a joke that really is never really that often told on stage. It's told amongst your cohorts. With John was in his workplace. He was there in the makeup room, and he had the makeup people. You know. So you have to.
And it sort of horrified one of his workers as he was telling.
Yeah.
As he was.
I
doing
thought she
what
was
he
funny.
doing,
I thought it was funny. I thought he's a big part. He's a good part.
I haven't
of the movie.
seen the thing. I just heard.
Go see it, and what you won't think. He's not holding back anymore than, and you don't know maybe when you see the DVD of it.
I loved, like, Jason Alexander got really dirty, which was a surprise. Drew Carey. Who else?
Saget.
Well, Saget. Yeah. We had him on the show last week. He was great.
He's really funny.
Oh, he's filthy.
He's really fast too, man. Because I'd never seen him. I mean, I've stand-up since 1990, so I think he was kind of like in Full House, like pretty much right around the time I got in. So I never saw him do stand-up before.
Right.
But he is really fucking quick, man. It was
Not only is he quick, you know, I knew him from him and I started at the same time. He's just most of what he does is off the cuff, and it was always filthy. He was always the filthy, edgy comic. They would put him on at night, and he was filthy. So to see him, for us who started out with him, to see him on Full House, that was the joke, and that was weird. And he was also a correspondent for the CBS Morning News before that. He did that, and I think, how could they put Saget on the morning news? How can they put Saget with these little girls? How can they put? And now you go see the Aristocrats, and you watch this guy who's talking about fucking kids in an eye socket, and you go, oh my God, that's the guy from Full House. No, that's the guy. That was Saget.
That's really
and
him.
That's the guy that they put on Full House. That's the joke.
Because everyone's now looking at him like he went insane, but no, this is his real personality.
It's how we'd feel if Voss got a job on a TV as a scientist.
Right, exactly.
There you go.
Did you guys do the you and Saget on the Young Comedian special? Was that the same one?
No, my Young Comedian special I did. I think I did the 6. On mine was Seinfeld.
Right, that was
and Harry Anderson. And Richard Lewis.
It's so cool to watch those classic HBO comedy where they show the old specials, old comedy specials, and you're like, holy shit, look at this. And then you'll see one guy, it's like, wow, he went nowhere. Like they'll have one guy you never heard from again, ever.
But I think we had a good, Seinfeld, Richard Lewis, Harry Anderson, and Sean Morey and Maureen Murphy, who I don't know where she is now. Maureen Murphy.
I've heard her name around, though. Sean Morey I've never heard of.
And the Smothers Brothers were the host.
Right.
They were funny in the movie, too.
Yeah, they were.
I think they were really funny. And
The mime was hilarious.
The mime was great.
They had the.
I thought Sarah Silverman just
she
kicked ass.
I love the movie. I'm gonna go see it again. Actually.
Nice to see it getting huge fucking press too, man. Everybody's talking.
People are picking up on it.
Bob Saget was just on CNN.
I know.
Talking about the Aristocrats. So.
And you were on what? You did Regis. You were on TV this morning. We looked up and you were like.
I saw you on Regis this morning as we're doing our show. I'm like, he's not going to come in here.
I wasn't really on Regis. I just went. I sat in the audience because I'm such a huge fan of that show. No, I was hosting. I was hosting for the last 2 days, and then today I actually sat in.
His audience loves you though. With the hidden,
that's why I sat with them.
The hidden camera stuff.
The hidden camera.
That's where that all started, right? You started doing it for him.
Gelman gave me the glasses. I got these glasses, and part of my OCD is I get obsessed about things, so I carry the glasses wherever I go, and every day I go out and I fuck with people. And a lot of them end up on The Tonight Show, a lot of them end up on Regis, and some of them just end up in my own personal collection. But I realized I was, I have restraining orders to stay away from places, and I've gotten in trouble, and I've been beaten up. And I said, this is a show for annoying somebody. They don't know it's me. And sometimes they find out it's me and they hit me harder.
And you're just trying to wash off with it.
Hey, I'm Howie Mandel. I'm doing a fuck you. I've never loved you, fucking idiot with the fucking glove. What the?
He's not punching back. He's applying Purell to his cheekbone.
But I realized that it was a that maybe there's a show in this and how it affects my family. Everybody's real in the show except my wife wouldn't be on camera. So Julie Warner plays my wife. And you see the effects of these hidden cameras, how I get ideas for them, and then what happens during them, and how they affect my life after.
Sounds like a good show.
Yeah.
It's on Bravo, you said?
11 o'clock Thursday night. This coming Thursday on the 18th. 11 o'clock Thursday night. Watch it. This is the premiere. A little sneak peek.
You bring your own mic, man, because one of the things that disgusts me is when you're doing a bit and you'll breathe a certain way and you smell the mic, and that is that's revolting to anybody. Do you travel with your own?
No.
He does now.
No. Now I will. I wasn't thinking it.
Why are we giving him
that? I don't have it to that extreme at all, and that bothers me.
At all? You're letting strange chicks piss all over you.
I'm just a good egg.
At least you're not like who was that? We used to hear the stories. Was it Danny Thomas? There were stories.
Oh yeah, laying under a coffee table.
Yeah.
Laying under a coffee table. Like what a rookie.
That's an amateur. Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you ruin the furniture that way?
But that wasn't piss.
No, I know.
No, there have been stories. Was it Danny Thomas?
Yeah. I don't know.
Jimmy's been known to take a log every once in a while.
I don't take a log, but if one slips out, what am I going to do? Criticize? You take it, you laugh it off later.
You know he's never coming back,
You've had a chick shit on you.
No. Maybe theoretically. Maybe it happened once. Who knows?
Look him in the eye.
You don't know.
That didn't happen.
I don't remember.
Look him in
you
the eye.
You don't remember. How can that happen? And I think something happened.
It's the shame. He's just covering the shame.
No, not at all.
You let somebody shit on you, right?
No, not at all. Yes. No, it never happens. No,
you guys are polar opposites as far as
please.
No, we're probably not as opposite as you think. It manifests itself differently.
If you touch each other, the universe would explode.
But you let it.
It's not even facing you anymore, Jimmy.
No, it's possible. Maybe it happened once, but it was just like a whole thing happening, and maybe it was supposed to be on my chest, but I yawned. I mean, you never know. I mean,
and it rolled off.
It possibly could have happened.
Don't make Howie investigate you with his glasses.
Maybe you forget. This is
I don't remember. Could have happened.
And was it discussed or was it an accident? I mean, was it
discussed? Try $400.
We're just keeping it real here.
Trip to Fetish Town doesn't come cheap.
Awful.
Did you put the plastic down?
You have to. Would be irresponsible otherwise.
Howie's not even facing you anymore.
I didn't even
He's got his back turned to you.
He put the plastic down. He's a class guy.
That's so funny that if we touched, the universe would explode.
Complete opposites.
Oh my God! You know, I'm laughing on the outside, but inside I'm screaming.
Absolutely.
Freaking out.
I can imagine.
I'm crying.
But we're not that different, believe it or not. It just completely comes out in a completely different areas. It's the same thing in the head.
Everyone can relate on certain levels.
Sure.
You know, I think everybody has it to some extent, but it's what level it is and how you deal with it. That's it.
Right, and did you have her shit on you because you thought that would be fun, or was she supposed to shit on you so you're supposed to look at it and think, oh, what the fuck's this all about, like Life Aquatic?
So glad he put a good joke at the end of that, because I wasn't going to have to answer like a real question and examine myself.
You'll answer
I don't know
it.
why.
Is it the hotness of looking at her parts, her just the physical aspect of watching it open up?
There's nothing
or
hot
is
about
it,
that.
Okay, then
It's awful.
Then it's something about you've been a bad boy and need to be shown.
Oh no!
something.
If I would ever do something like that, it would never be a shame issue.
You know, like with regular sex and men in regular sex. You know, once you come, that's it. You know, the feeling goes away, and you want to get her out of there, and you want to leave, and it's over. Once she shits, once you're just sitting there and she's gone, and you're lying there with just a pile of nice shit all over your face, a patty on you.
Right.
Do you feel good about yourself? Do you feel? Is it a nice? Does it? What is that feeling?
I would imagine you'd feel no different about yourself because it's not an esteem thing. Like even Tinkle, it's not like I'm not naughty. I'm not naughty. I'm a fucking filth bag. I don't feel repressed or dirty if a girl pisses on me at all. You know what I mean? I feel like, go ahead, piss on me.
What pleasure center is being taken care of in that, though?
I don't know. What pleasure do you get from whispering sweet nothings? But fuck it, people do it. Maybe a bad example, but
it is a bad example.
Yeah,
that's a big leap from sweet nothings to a pile of shit on your face.
There's a lot of real estate in between.
That's a shitty something. Oh God.
Hey,
sweet nothings.
We got to talk about Paisano, Mulberry Street before we get out of here. Yeah. Do you go to restaurants there, Howie? That must be tough.
I do, but I bring my own. I have like plastic forks and knives. I do. What was that Jack Nicholson movie? That Jack Nicholson movie I watched.
Oh, As Good as It Gets.
As Good as It Gets. I used to watch that and think, what? It's no big deal.
What is this film about?
Yes.
Well, it's Paisano, Mulberry Street in the heart of Little Italy. We love this restaurant. It's Joey's place. We go there all the time.
Yeah. They give you huge portions over there. Yeah, we've been down there. We love it. Go! Joey feeds us all the time. Paisano, it's the classic candlelit restaurant, perfect for the late-night date or the romantic meal. Every single pasta on the menu now under $10. And you mentioned XM Radio, mention O&A, mention Little Jimmy Norton, Big Pile of Shit, whatever you want to mention, you'll get a glass of wine on the house, courtesy of Joey. Authentic Italian cuisine. It's made from the original old world Italian recipes at a great price. All the fun and romance of Italy in a friendly restaurant. Paisano of Mulberry Street, open weekends till 2 a.m. It's right in the heart of Little Italy between Grand and Hester. Give them a call, 212-965-1188, 965. Write it down. 1188 Paisano of Mulberry Street.
There you go. See, we don't do commercials on satellite. That's what we do. We do one of those every once in a while.
You just throw them in.
And this music's playing because we have a minute left. What happens on satellite radio?
Are we going to get eaten?
It's on a. It's a cute little thing we came up with. It's a filthy show, but we do cute things.
That's the Pac-Man.
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
that's Super Mario.
Super Mario.
Super Mario. That was
right.
So what's the show? The show is called
Hidden Howie: The Private Life of a Public Nuisance. Premiering 11 o'clock. See the hidden cameras, the trouble I get into with the hidden cameras, and meet my family. It's a hybrid. So at 11 o'clock on Bravo, Thursday night, this coming Thursday.
August 18th.
We'll definitely check that out.
Give that a try.
Also, the Aristocrats.
And the Aristocrats.
The Aristocrats.
Great, man.
And I hope you come back and visit us.
I would like to. Invite me.
Yes, you are invited.
You're invited.
Thank you.
This
is fun.
It's great to curse, right, without worrying about getting dumped out of it.
Feels weird. This is my first time being on a radio show. I've never done satellite radio.
Yeah, it is a little odd the first time you do it. You're kind of looking for the dump button and want to tell somebody to stop doing it. But
well, congratulations on your show, guys. I hear you're doing huge
right,
here.
Yes, Howie Mandel. Somebody on the line wants us to show Tub Girl to Howie.
Show me.
Tub Girl.
Oh, it's a photo.
Next time.
Oh, God,
That'll be a tease for next time. It is the sickest photo on the internet. All right, that's it. Howie Mandel, everyone.
Program complete.
Okay, more stickers. Hand them over.
Yeah, talk to Steve, see if we could change that.
Steve who?
Martini Steve. You know Martini Steve. Yeah, it's all cute and stuff when we're on the air. We believe we like that fucking idiot.
Oh, Jesus.
Ugh. Hate that guy.
No.
Doesn't work hard enough. Ugh. Jesus. This perfect diction. All right, we get it. You speak well. Shut up. Can't you slur one stupid word in your dumb life? Please stammer. Just once. Show that you're human. Jimmy, who do you hate on this show?
Steve, if he can't move this.
Yeah, it's all about Steve. Steve.
That's just one of those things that works out that way.
These things still on?